thanks for coming back, DCC pretenders to the throne. Our bizarre live play that always starts exactly on time.
Every time.
Uh, no fuss, no muss. Yeah, I'm Clay. I'll be your judge for tonight, and jury and executor. Um, and we'll go around and introduce everybody. So I don't know how I can't even do. I love to do like the Hollywood Squares things, like in Center Square is this, but like I feel like no matter whoever's watching what I since I'm not watching the Twitch feed, I think everybody's boxes are different positions depending on
Mm.
who's watching. So
Right.
I'll say who's in the top left corner. That's if it's
That's you.
dang it, I messed up. Is there somebody next to me to my right? Who's to my right?
That would normally be Thorn, but he is now currently an anime girl.
Oh.
But I thought he would. Oh
Yeah.
no, he is, but he's kind of you tonight, right?
Yeah, I am using his character. So
Why
for
don't you
those,
introduce yourself?
yeah, so for those of
Anybody doesn't
you
know.
who don't know me, you hear my voice on In the Studio with Chris, and sometimes you'll see me for Saturday Night at the Sidebar. But I am the wizard behind the curtain. I'm Elena Thompson, Twitch producer for Goodman Games, and I'm filling in for my brother who's normally up there. Um, and he plays Danil Novikov, and yeah, I honestly I couldn't tell you what's happening.
Can I think we should. Your title should be. You should be Goodman Games answer to Don Pardo.
Yeah.
Uh, you are the Goodman Games Don Pardo. Uh, and Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat. Anyway, so who is below me? I have no idea. I can't see the screen. So who's below me? Introduce yourself.
That would be Rocky directly
Oh,
below you.
nobody can
Okay.
tell. No
Hello.
mystery.
I
We're so
play Hydra, the ship's cook, and an empath. And
Mhm.
just recently recovering from uh, dying and unhooking my new body.
Mhm.
what happened in the game then? Just kidding. Um, and last but certainly not least, now this one I can know by process of elimination.
Mhm.
James.
Mhm. Well, I'm James. I play Marcus Publianus. He's the ship priest and also recently deceased and recently risen. But he has come back in a different way than everybody else to the confusion of the rest of the crew in our cloning chamber.
So yeah, it's a probably a good this whole coming back thing is probably a good way to segue before we even get into our full recap to explain kind of for anybody that's kind of popping in new that we are a weird homebrewed DCC science fantasy where the PCs are representatives of a far future society that is doing basically embedded anthropology upon an alien world that has humans at roughly a medieval level that might be offshoots of their own species of people that have left Earth, 40,000 years ago, and you got into a bunch of misadventures while trying to you know trying to hide the fact that you're from space. But one of the things about this being a kind of we're actually about done with the funnel portion of this, so pretty soon I think we'll be I guess leveling or whatever you want to call it. You get whatever you want to call it.
And we'll be done because we'll be dead again.
But the thing is, it's like your characters are already a little heightened compared to normal zero level characters. So therefore, you only have two characters instead of the standard four for a funnel because they're a little bit more beefier. But the other weirdness is that you only play one at a time because the second character is a cloned copy of your active character, uh, which basically is a thing that we're happy that existed because essentially at the end of the last game, everyone had to call in their clones. So James, do you want to kind of like recap what happened in the broad strokes?
Sure, there was combat. and there was combat, also some combat, but no, we were crossing a bridge to what we are looking, essentially what we're trying to find, being an older Earth colony ship that left the planet some thousands of years ago, and we are trying to kind of retrace the roots of the civilization that had offshoots that could have ended up on the planet. And on our way to said mountain, as what our guides called, who were natives that of the planet who seemingly protect that kind of area, who may or most likely got eviscerated in the combat last time.
Right.
But were leading us over this bridge, and our overseer of our landing shuttle seemingly found us, or found our coordinates after I gave them to the overseer, and seemingly went crazy and tried to start shooting shooting us with our landing shuttle, and eventually succeeded in killing all of us and pretty much vaporized two of our guides, and the other two are most likely dead as well, with the bridge collapsing afterwards. And meanwhile, there's some type of, I don't want to say Kraken like thing, but a supposed mysterious tentacle force that's been living in this kind of moat area we were crossing from
It's
this
like a
bridge.
multi-headed Hydra with big
Yeah,
bases.
exactly. And it's trying to pull down the shuttle, meanwhile, while all of our clones are beginning to wake up with varied amounts of memories based on our initial roll. So some of us remember more than others before going on it, but I think the general consensus was we all remember going onto the bridge.
So yeah, so I'll just to kind of just to fill in some gaps a little bit, just to so basically, you know, you'd come here to begin with this planet because you were drawn in by a beacon that was emanating from a mountain, and it's very possible that mountain's actually a disguised colony seed ship for this lost colony. And approaching it went through a very treacherous, polluted, and mutated forest that is mutated by the basically the water that the lake that feeds that forest was created by the landed giant mountain seed ship that it's like which engines apparently are still on, or seems that way because the water's glowing and it's super radioactive. And it's called they or locals refer to it as the churn, and it's just like creating crazy mutations. That's why the forest is all screwed up. And living in this is this thing they called the Void Beast. And it's this great multi-headed, like half beanstalk monster, half multi-headed Hydra. Um, there was one safe place across it to get to the. You were trying to. Do you guys remember why you were trying to get? I mean, was there a secondary reason you were trying to get to the mountain? There was I don't know if we got kind of lost in the shuffle, but there was talk about that obviously to determine what the to get to the control room of it, to determine if the beacon was in
Yeah.
fact, but also you were informed apparently there seems to be a bit of a schism in the command structure of your team because your assist android seemed to have a secondary purpose. Constance, who is unfortunately sacrificed herself to let you guys escape earlier, kind of intimated that perhaps there was a secondary mission, and that connecting with the ship's computer, if this indeed is actually a colony lander, might reveal more about your the machinations that are really happening behind the scenes. And do you guys like the guy? So when your lander came down to the planet, you guys were sent out in the woods to follow the beacon. In that, shortly after you left, your lander was attacked by what you thought were natives or locals at the lower technology level, but who seemed to know you were coming and who had weapons of a technological level that were like way above their own grade, but a little, archaic to you, possibly of a previous starfaring generation. But when you're eventually your overseer, like you mentioned, had taken off with the lander after being ambushed, came looking for you, but then, like you said, started firing at you when he found you, your ally, your boss. But was he completely crazy, or did he seem to have a reason for that? What did he say to you? Did he say something weird to you, maybe when he was attacking you?
He thought we betrayed him to some degree, but he never elaborated.
He
At
was
least
under
that's.
mind control.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
he
he was
definitely seemed
saying,
pretty
Oh, that too.
adamant that you. What was that?
he was saying things that were exceedingly not in normal for him to say, because he was very, very by the book person, and all the I don't remember precisely what it was, but it made it pretty obvious that he was not himself.
Well, he was definitely convinced, or seemed very adamant, that you had betrayed uh you had betrayed your mission and or him or whatever. um well, he is right, and when we stop, he's pretty much he's trying to stop this ship from going down. When you guys are all destroyed at the bridge, I mean, he's probably not even thinking about the fact that the little incubators that hold your clones are basically in your ship, in the same ship with him, just behind him, a couple rooms away, but you have like an eye line onto him. The cockpit door is open, and he's just like
Hmm.
struggling, fighting with the ship to keep it in the air while it's being buffeted around by this multi-headed vine hydra thing.
Hmm.
So he seems a little preoccupied and not super aware of your kind of uh coming awake. So there's that. And was Jack, were you saying something about my dog is now contributing? Um, were you saying something about that they noticed something about you when you were coming back?
Hmm?
Did you say something? There was something special about you when you kind of like
Oh, sorry. I thought
you
I,
recapitulated.
I thought you were still talking to your dog.
No, no.
But,
I was talking about story beats.
well, everybody else seems to be awakening from these clone kind of Bacta tank
You keep
tubes.
talking. I'm gonna go murder my dog.
Not real. He's not actually
Oh,
going to murder his dog before anybody comes for us. I
But
also
yeah.
have, while he's gone, hang on. I have
Mhm.
ich habe eine Frage. Um,
Murdered.
so, so, where is Daniil? Because I'm pretty sure he wasn't there.
Uh, he was near my character and ended up dying.
Okay,
He
so
went
he is
down. He
dead.
went. Everyone went down, but everyone had a clone. They got their
Gotcha.
got
Yeah.
a jail free cards. You've all basically, there's a little bit of a lag, and we figured out exactly how much time most people lost in the transition. So like some people don't have memories of their exact time they died. Um, I didn't write it down. I hope you guys remember what I gave
We
you. It was all
we only
pretty.
know the last. We only know we lost the last 5 minutes. Was basically everything from last session. Before, I mean, the previous session. So like we know that there was something wrong with the overseer. He's coming for us. He's insisting he's going to extract us. Then um James' character tells us to hit the deck, and
Hmm.
and then we get fired upon, and everything breaks loose. We all die, and then I came back first, and while I'm unplugging myself, everyone else started to come back, but James' character already it is not restrained and ready for action because we were about to take care of some business.
Hmm.
But he was. I have to wait. I had to wait till the end of the round, but he does not.
Hmm.
So did you guys discuss everyone but James's character awoke inside a intubation like canister, which is like meant for clones.
Yeah.
um James's character came out of a special kind of like wall socket that was used to power up androids like Constance, who's the late lamented.
Mhm.
So what that says about whatever he was before, it definitely says something about what he is now. It's also very much illegal to have unregistered, not unregistered android, unidentified androids. Androids are by nature in your civilization, they have to be very. There's no like, oh hey, they can pass, but they have to be apparent. That is not the case in this case. If you don't know though, if that's no one knows at this point if it's somehow like there's some technology you don't know about that allows human consciousness to be transferred into a android. That's not a common everyday thing here. Or there is like you can data dump from one android to another, so that's more common. Also, I will say right before we start, because we're starting right in the heat of a very kind of tumultuous not combat, but decisions that have to be made. I think it's important to note few things about your character's basic skill sets when it comes to like operating heavy machinery from the future of your technology, of your own society. So all of you would have had basic training. None of you guys are specialists when it comes to like piloting. You could pilot this ship on a good day. None of you are particularly adept enough to necessarily pilot this thing when it's struggling with a monstrous vine dragon Hydra beast. And I should also note that in your current trajectory, you are very close to the side of this mountain, this possible colony ship mountain, like ship that's like many miles above the high out of the surface of the earth, and beneath it as well. So and pretty in several at least several miles wide as well. So it's kind of like this big obstacle that you would depending on what happens with the ship, it could it's possible to also meet its demise against the side of the mountain. It is worth noting that. So I wanted to catch you before the first person says I'm going to go kill the person driving this ship. You could. I'm just saying I think it would be unfair to make you unaware of the fact that that might leave you in an interesting position. So yeah. Questions before we jump back into the heat of the action? We'll probably just do some fresh initiative-y thingies here. What we can do here, I'm also fine since we're not I don't know, we're just like figuring out the order in which we're doing things here, and no one's directly attacking you right now. Was it easier? Do you guys just want to just do like order combat, order initiative, or do you want to do like the full Monty like we normally do when we're in?
Well, since we're kind of down a few people, I think ordered's probably fine.
I was muted.
No, you were unmuted for me.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
can
not
hear you.
muted for you guys, but while I'm like typing in chat and stuff,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
muted on OBS because will hear the whole
OBS.
time. You will hear my keyboard going off if I don't. So you're welcome, viewers. Just gonna say that.
OBS.
Anyway, so I would like to just do normal initiative just because I'm mostly behind the scenes. I haven't really been paying attention to how it works.
All
Please
good.
don't
There's very
quiz
few
me.
of us tonight. It's all fine. Hey, you know what? We do it until we if it ain't broke, well, it is broke. If it ain't broke for our purposes,
Broke.
all initiative is broken. But that's my hot take for tonight. Anyway, so let's go ahead then, and just to get the order of operation out, let's just have everybody roll as if it was just regular old initiative. Just so we have an order of events.
I'm gonna go get my die. Hang on a second.
Yeah, I gotta do that too.
I'm gonna get a little wet rag to wipe off my. Oh no, I have this. I don't need that. I need to clean off my whiteboard. Yeah. So you guys, if you guys rolled yet? Did anybody get above a 15?
I just rolled and I got a 16.
Okay, so who's highest of that?
I got a 21.
So you got 21 for James.
Mhm.
And then who's next in the pipeline? Is
I guess 16.
that? And so Rocky, what'd you end up getting?
13.
13. All right. Let me go ahead and roll for
Wait, was that for Daniil or Lucia? Elena.
Daniil.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm playing
Lucia
Daniil.
is stuck in her incubation Cassian right now.
Okay.
Hers is like jammed shut. So you might have to free her if you're going to abandon ship at any point. Let me. She's stuck. Her little thing won't open. She's alive in there. You can tell that. All right. Let me roll for Captain Sully flying the ship. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why he's saying crazy things to you. Maybe he's drunk, like Sully. Oh wow, he just rolled really great.
Oh.
I
That
don't
was
like the sound of that.
no, it was terrible. He will be going
Mhm.
last. I'm gonna write Sully instead of his name that I
Mhm.
forgot. No,
Seeing
I don't.
giant Hydra heads pop up out of the water.
Oh, that's there's that thing. Thank you for reminding me. I almost did not. Don't want to leave out the Hydra contingent. Oh, that's a little bit better.
So I have a quick question while you're rolling that.
Yep.
As we level up, because this is DCC,
Mm-hmm. Your class.
are yeah, so are we going to have like class changes, and then on top of
So
that, how likely are we going to going to have to roll funky dice, because I
no,
don't
you're fine
have
on the funky
funky
dice,
dice.
right? Also we can you can make those out of normal dice. Um,
Okay.
but I will say this: I don't want to prolong your advancing, but there is an event that would allow you to. So everyone can advance as a generic seraph, like almost like a.
Mhm.
This is the equivalent of like human race class for your society, which would have its own like things. Or if you want, and this is something I was just thinking about because I didn't want to make you like wait to get some benefits. Um, we can give you some advancement benefits if you want to forehold. Um, at a certain point, there is going to be the option to either stay in your societal class. Like normally, you have a progression within your advanced society. It's like one thing, but as you are stuck on this place and you are continuing to embed yourself, you would have normally the ability to adopt to normal DCC classes.
Mhm.
So that would be the question: is do you want to? We can prolong that choice to when your character would have the option to do that. There's a natural point that I thought we would have hit by now, but we didn't. It's okay. We're getting close. That would allow for a natural, like, I don't want to say a time jump, but it would make sense that you would be able to do so. Unless you do break the break, you might break the game and get home. Who knows? Maybe you'll do that, and then we won't have to worry about it. But assuming that you end up getting stuck here, or you continue your mission and become fully embedded, you would have the ability to normally pick a class from the standard classes.
Mhm.
But or you could just progress as kind of like these scout agents, like these embedded scouts, which I'll have to go over those progressions with you. Regardless, I feel like what we can do is um at least for depending on how long it takes, if it's clear it's going to be a little bit before you get that, it might even be a thing where we just let you progress like one level forward using the stats you would normally use as this normal seraph. So you do just like repeat the hit die for the seraph, which I think is a D8 at that point, and then you would get, you would have your bonuses to your saves that way, and your bonuses to your your psychic abilities that way. And then maybe you almost treat it like they treat the dual class in like old school AD&D, where you just switch over.
Okay.
It's depending. We'll see where we are at the end of the session.
I was just curious. I didn't
No,
mean to derail
that.
that.
No. It's actually, this is a play test, and to some degree that was a good question, because I've been thinking about it and I wasn't sure.
I'm cool with like, and I don't want to speak for everybody in saying this, but personally I'm cool with like we can just go until like the natural progression in the story, because I assume that it's kind of like in other campaigns where like you hit kind of milestones in a sense that you go from like level, like in D&D you go from level 1 to level 2 and as the adventure continues.
It might make sense to just keep you as your base class as like the seraph, and then the fact that I use benisons so much, you could just, because you're going to get the ability to kick in benisons every level. You could use that to customize it towards like, oh yeah, I'm learning to become more of a a fighter or a wizard or whatever,
as I will have to mind meld with my brother to figure out what he wants to do with Daniil before I make any decision.
He'll let you do whatever you want. I said so. It'll be your alternate universe version of him. So it's all good. So yeah, so if it's a matter of like a point where you should have enough, you should be advancing to so you have a chance of staying alive, then yeah, we'll kind of advance you. If we haven't hit the point where it makes sense to make an actual decision, we'll advance you in your base class, and then you can stock up your benisons and then spend them when the time comes. Like basically, instead of it'll make sense. We'll get there. Oh, we see more. Anyway, but yeah, so but that was a very good question, because that is something that is one of the rough edges that I'm kind of working off right now. Okay. So yeah, so just painting the picture right now, you've got a lot of turbulence going on. You can't tell if that creature is holding on to the ship or if it just keeps buffeting it, because the ship is just like you're all kind of like, everyone's very like discombobulated because the ship is just reeling different directions. So pretty much anything that would require a roll involving like coordinating your bodies to do something is going to be at a -2 for right now, just because everything is just like everything's cattywampus. So you are about probably, so there's the chamber you're in is not directly connected to the flight chamber, to the bridge, but there is basically your small room, which is like a closet attached to this big kind of like the drop zone room, where everybody would muster when they're going to depart the ship. It's like the one single largest room on the drop ship. And then just beyond that is the flight deck, or the cockpit. So you're probably about a good 40 50 feet from the cockpit, but you have a direct eye line into it because your door is open and it looks directly across that big like battle scorched bay. So if you remember, like you guys had a good look at that bay earlier, it's just like it's been like scorched by laser fire on the inside, because that's where the attack was happening, that they were, before they came after you, like your other lander team were ambushed by these strangers that had technology. There was a big firefight in there, and there's no bodies left in there. Like to the best of your knowledge, though there are other rooms that you're not able to see right now. There's rooms behind you that you don't have access from where you are, but you're to the it would make sense to think that right now that the only people alive on this ship are you guys and the overseer, who's attempting to keep this thing aloft, who you can see, and in theory you could, if you had weapons in hand, you could that were range weapons. You could attack him if you wanted to. You don't have range weapons right now because you're basically all you guys have right now are you are just in your skiing suits. Fresh skiing suits. You're basically just like newborn adult babes in body tight stockings and nothing else, with the exception of course of James, who is actually looks pretty much identical to what he looked like before, but without any gear. He's like fully dressed and basically copies of the same raiment he was wearing before. Whatever he wore above his skiing suit, a copy of his duty uniform or whatever. Where you guys are just wearing like, the onesie. You're wearing your leotard or your what are they, units?
Snuggie.
Remember units from the mall in the 80s? Nobody remembers that. We were talking about Night Court earlier. Nobody remembered that. So like you're not gonna remember units. Units is the place in the mall that sell little like onesies that came in like neon green or neon orange. These are skin tight like body stockings. That are very unflattering to every curve. But anyway, so that's all you guys have on you. There are, the layout of the ship, you can pretty much get to any room in one round. So the ship is not like a tiny little shuttle. It's not a huge ship. It's like it's a lander boat. It's like meant for like, it has like small sleeping quarters with like bunks in it. It also has that equipment loadout room. It has a basic equipment loadout room that you guys got some supplies for in the past. And it also has the executive loadout room, which you have to have the special access card to get like the really fancy, like, extra duty rocket cannons and whatever the hell out of. But you could get to pretty much anywhere on this ship in about a round. Also, if you're crossing, you're gonna have pretty much any movement you're doing, you might have to make a reflex save just to stay on your feet. But other than that, also the door. Remember, just to remind you, the big loading like ramp door that like lets people out of the drop ship, between you and the cockpit, that's been rent off. It's like hanging loose, so it's like wide open. And as we've already seen some people fall out of this ship to their death, plummet to their death because they were a little bit too close for comfort.
Yeah, the two Peter Steels that were running around, right?
Right, exactly. So so James, I believe you're first up given those parameters.
Oh boy.
You actually don't have any. I'm gonna say you're only at a -1 to move.
Okay.
You're not at the full -2.
Mhm.
You don't get you don't need Dramamine.
All right. Well, Marcus is probably shocked first off to just suddenly find himself on the landing shuttle once more, and he has full view of everybody within their incubation chambers still, or they're
Yeah, you guys are all pretty much next to each other, so you're all in the same little, like, tiny ass little room that's just like wall to wall of the the intubation caissons, plus the little wall unit that you came off of, which you realize is there's only one like Android port there, so you came out of the same port that normally Constance would interface with. And you probably don't have time to really deal with it right now, but you feel like as you disconnect from that port, you there's something left in you, like a little something that you can access later on. Like you had a free gift with purchase for being on that same port. You're not sure what it is, but it seems like something is amiss, and there's something like a little file folder in your brain that needs to be opened up later.
Ooh, coupons.
Yeah. It's a Groupon for Planet Fitness.
Yeah, your landing party dead?
It's for interplanetary fitness.
Yeah, glad you get some insurance.
But yeah, so that you just have that in the back of your head. But beyond that, you'll probably also realize that that's probably not the best thing to concentrate on right now.
Right.
But
Yeah, I think the first thing, despite the disorientation, Marcus would probably try to look around for, okay, if he has all these memories, I need weapons, I need weapons, I need something to
So yeah,
defend
you know
myself with.
exactly. You're up to the. You're pretty much up to date. You're
Yeah.
the one person that doesn't have any lag in
Mm.
your downloads. Um,
And yep, I'm looking around for anything I can make into either a makeshift weapon or
so
perhaps some type of equipment. Just I need something.
if you want anything like sophisticated enough to be like a ranged weapon, you'll have to get to the loadout locker.
Mhm.
If you're okay with something that you could just clobber somebody with, um,
There's an
there's like
idea.
a socket wrench slash hydro spanner or whatever the hell.
Mhm.
Basically on a little chain on the wall that you can just yank off. That's about
Yep.
it's basically a club for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
Um,
Wonderful. That's kind of what I was looking for. Something like
it's a hydro spanner.
yeah, grunt
Chewy.
needs rock to smash. Something like that.
The damn hydro spanner Han's been looking for. Get him.
So
Um,
just so we're aware, before we get too far, I am
Mm.
going to completely butcher the pronunciation.
of the word
Of
pronunciation.
yes, of everything. I can't pronounce anything. Anyway, Azwepe, Azwepe.
Asswipe?
No,
Oh.
dadgummit.
Are you doing
This is
doing
a
Wayne's World?
PG show.
You're doing a Wayne's World joke. Wait, was that knowingly you were doing that, or
No, I
It's one
wasn't
of our
trying to
viewers.
say that. One of our viewers' name is As We Pay, and you're the one who's saying.
it is 2023? I feel like they say that on Sesame Street now. Anyway,
Anywho, we have
you walked me right into that. So.
We have 4 banked rerolls for
Wow.
all of us, including you, Clay.
Whoa, what? That's a lot of rerolls.
Yeah,
Somebody's
we have
rolling.
somebody's got channel points for days
Somebody's
over
like-
here.
Thank you, stranger.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
How about we do this? Let's just would as we may be okay if we just turned those into fleeting luck and add it to your fleeting luck, give everyone that extra fleeting luck, so that way it's easier to track as one mechanic.
But that's not as that's a +1. This is a whole
No, it's not
just
+1.
redo. Isn't
No.
fleeting luck just a +1 for anybody who's not a halfling? Or
It's a +1, but it's shareable.
He paid
Okay,
for
we'll
this.
keep it the way it is, but that's
Look,
the last of
man.
But then if you did that, I wouldn't get mine then, so I couldn't cancel yours out. That would be the trade-off.
The whole
No.
point is you also have a reroll as the judge.
Okay, fine, but then I feel bad using it. I'll do it anyway. I'll tell you what. When I boof a roll, I'm not going to automatically use mine. I will ask the person who gifted it to me if they when they think I should use it. How about that? Because I feel weird just using it. I appreciate it, but I will say whenever when I boof a roll, if you want me in the audience to re-roll it, if you put it in there, tell me so, and I'll do it. How
All
about
right,
that?
I'll let you know what they say.
Rock and roll. All right, fine. That sounds good. So everyone has 4 re-rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh
So
no, we've all got one reroll. There were 4 that
All
were.
4
okay.
of us
That's a
have
little bit
one
more.
reroll.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's a little bit more. Okay, so we all have one re-roll.
Yes.
Okay, that's a little bit more reasonable. Okay, I was going to say, just don't use them all in a row. Okay, now we're good. That makes sense. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. I misunderstood that. You could have gotten away with that, and I would have not even known.
Well,
Anyway.
I think it was maybe 8 rolls for just me.
Yeah, it was
you know.
like, I'm pretty sure I got 5 in there.
So for brother
Alright.
Marcus can still that's not your entire thing. You could still do something.
Yeah.
I would call that your action, but you could use your 30-ish feet of movement. You couldn't get to the cockpit, but you could definitely get most of the way across, or you could definitely get to the loadout. You could get to the loadout locker.
Okay. Well, I'm worried there's other people still in
This is also a
the
possible.
shuttle. So I guess first I'm going to look back at the rest of us. So I think at the very least, if there is
that, you would see right away that everyone's kind of like the little like pod doors are open and they're all kind of coming to and getting out.
Except Lucia.
Except for Lucia, who's awake or who's alive. You can see that the clone's been like brought online.
Can I help Lucia's incubation door open up? Can I?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and do that.
In fact, so you get over there and you start. It's malfunctioned. You are holding a tool that might be of use for that.
All right, I'm gonna try and wedge my Hydra spanner in to force the door open. It won't damage her, would it? Or
not unless you're just like attacking the door. But if you're just trying to use it as a a crowbar.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so go ahead and give me a
strength.
Give me a roll a d20 and add your strength modifier to it.
All right.
If you have one. No, not
already.
3. Okay. Was that a natural 3?
It was a 2 with a +1.
Gotcha. So
yeah, you know what? I'll re-roll that.
Okay.
Go ahead and get that out of the way. Then I'll roll my 1.
Off the Band-Aid.
Okay, that's better. That's 15.
All right. So so you're and then some air kind of jets out of it as the door kind of gives, and then it just kind of goes up on its normal trajectory, like you just gave it a little assist, and then it's like takes over.
Mm-hmm.
She is not conscious, but she's definitely, you can tell that she's been interfaced with her. It's very different when they are like dormant and alive and then like active and alive. She is active and alive, but she is unconscious. Mm-hmm. So she's definitely in there in that body, but she's not conscious.
So she's not going to be trapped though when she does come.
She's not trapped. You would have to probably carry her or wake her up.
Okay.
Someone would need to put her. Someone would need to be responsible with transporting her and or waking her up.
All right. I think that's about all I can do right now.
Yeah, that's definitely all you can do.
Take care of the boss. I'll unhook her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Elena, you're up.
Well, open the incubation chamber is open. Lucia's knocked out still.
She's knocked out. Yeah. Okay.
She's still seatbelted in.
Okay.
We're still plugged in.
Okay.
Yeah, we know about some people's proclivities with seatbelted people. Wasn't that you, Elena, who like got that one person killed?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't get anyone killed because I didn't help them with their seatbelt. That wasn't me. That was someone else.
Save lives unless you are in a seatbelt next to Elena.
Basically. Speaking of seatbelts, I'm still stuck in mine, right?
Yours, Rocky just said that.
It doesn't count as a free action to get out of yours.
Okay, it's a free action. Okay,
for you, it's a free action. Okay, maybe somebody else's might be a little bit weird because you're doing it backwards, but like you, it's free action.
Okay, I'm a master at seatbelts. So I guess I'll get out of that. What is Sully doing?
So
since we don't know his name.
Yeah, so Overseer Sayat.
Yeah.
Oh, Sayat.
But yes, no, we can. She is very close to Sully. That was not intentional. Never seen this going this direction, so it's completely unintentional. You can see him like he seems to be completely unaware of you guys right now because one, there's a huge you're the sound. Any sound you're making is not making it to him.
Okay.
The sound of the air rushing through and around the main cabin. And just the gyros of the ship is like, and then there's the beast noises and then the churn noises. There's like so many other there's a concert of competing noises going on. So unless you start, but you can hear him because he's loud, and he's yelling at the controls and like just fighting with this thing. And he's just like cursing at the controls, um, and trying to keep the ship from crashing. You can see though, I mean, you can see out the front port from here too, just through past him. You can see he's getting like with every passing second, he's getting closer and closer to the mountainside. Like he's trying to get up, he's trying to pull up and like go uppity up, but like if he can't, you're not sure how it's going to end up if he's, if he gets, if the beast is going to take him down, but he's just going the one direction he seems like he can be able to go without like giving the beast more leverage. He's pulling away from it towards the mountain.
Can I? Okay. Is it possible to find a weapon of sorts, whether improvised or not, around?
So basically, like what Brother Marcus just did, basically.
Yeah. Is there a way? Like, can I find? Preferably, I'd like a gun of some kind.
If you want a projectile weapon, you're gonna need to go to and you can easily get there this round. It's literally the room catty corner to where you are. Just you just can't see it from where you are. You have to go out of your little closet and just go a little bit to the left, which is just not in view. It's basically the other side of the room you're in, towards the aft of the ship. There's a loadout locker. There's two Axis loadout lockers, one of which is just like whoever's got a finger can open it. The other one requires an override card.
Okay.
The one that you can get into has some pretty basic stuff in there. It should have a las scepter in there.
Okay.
But you also don't know what got utilized in the firefight, because the ship was attacked and normally they load out of there, so you could go there and theoretically it might be empty.
Well, I'm gonna do it anyway.
So you can go there and open it this round.
Yeah.
And probably like see the inventory.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. And I'm gonna be fair about it. I'm gonna leave it up to chance to what's in there.
Uh-oh.
Because I did not plan this, so I'm gonna keep with that spirit of things. So let me grab the loadout and I'll roll on a chart and see what's on there.
Hey, you found a flamethrower.
Yes! I can beat the xenomorph.
You found the man in the boat. No, sorry, family show. Where is it? Where's my phone? I don't know why my notes have this blood on them. It's so weird. I think maybe it's not blood. I don't know. Was I drinking blood?
It was the lipstick.
But it's like really, I don't make like. I only use lipstick. I only use waterproof lipstick. I don't use what this messy stuff is. Where'd my little thingy go?
Are we learning more about Clay we didn't know?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to be provocative. It's not working very well. Where'd it go? Dag nabbit.
Could be Jack's lipstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I start color coding my notes by category. I think that would make things a lot
Do you
easier.
have highlighters?
I do, but then everything is white paper with highlighter, but I have other color paper. I just do what we do in like movies where when we do script revisions, we change the color of the script pages for just those revisions. And I have all these different color paper for that purpose. I'm gonna start loading it in my printer that way. Where is it? 2 seconds. Sorry, I have it. Where'd it go?
Eins.
You guys actually have a copy of this too.
Drei. Vier.
That's not helping.
Six.
It's not helping.
7. 8. 9. 10.
If anybody ever needed a proof of this is not a railroad, even though it might say railroad. If you want proof this is not a railroad, this is your proof.
This was me not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before, when I was running a game and I couldn't find for the life of me my little like stat box of like treasure, and I'm just like, where's my table? Where did it go? I'm sifting through all of my notes.
You guys all have this list on your handouts I gave you. I just wanted to try to use it to roll off of it, but you know what? I'm gonna do it off the top of my head because I don't want to waste any time trying to find this thing right now. So you're going in there looking for a projectile weapon. So so
Yes.
I'm not even worried about what else is in there because you're only looking for things that could be a projectile weapon. So we'll do a diminishing returns thing. I'll roll to see if well, you know what? I'm gonna let you roll.
Do
How
you
about
want me to
that?
do a luck check?
Let you do a luck check. You got it.
Son
So I guess let's do a roll under luck check.
What a depletion roll.
I got a
Ooh.
9 and my luck is a 13. I got lucky.
Did you get it?
I did. I got lucky.
All right. So yeah, so you find there is one last Laz scepter is hanging on a loop in there.
I'm gonna grab it.
That's
Plugged in,
terrible.
so you know it's charged.
Okay.
So yeah, to remind you, it's basically like a glass tube. It's like a very like BBC like 70s sci-fi Blake 7 type weapon where it's like it looks like a little wand with a little, handle on it that has a little like plug pack coming out of it and
Rod of lasering.
rod of lasering. Um it's not a precision weapon, but at the same time, it does gets the job done. And it can hit pretty much anything on this ship is within range of it.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to get that. You can get that out and into your hands. You do notice when you're over there, by the way, that someone or something or someone's definitely was working pretty hard to get into the restricted locker. It's all that doors bang the hell out of. It's still closed, but that thing is like solid titanium, and they put pretty nice sizable dents in it. Someone was really having wailing on it. That person is no longer around, and also you don't encounter anyone on your way to the so where you are now, also from your vantage, you can see to your left, looks deeper into the aft of the ship. The door to the basically the galley / little lounge area, which is the second largest place in the ship, is open. The lights are flickering inside, but you don't see anybody in there from what you can tell. Though if they're hiding, they have the advantage of having flickering lights to help them, whatever. Anyway, so Rocky.
Uh,
So I believe you're out, right? Didn't you get out of your costume last time? Or did
that
you
was the thing. I had a 21 for initiative on our first segment, and then I wasn't allowed to do anything because I was still hooked up.
Well, you can get out of your thing if you want to.
I'll
give you that as a free action.
Well, I assume since you said it was a kitty corner, that I should see the last scepter being pulled out of the locker.
So you can't see the locker from where you are, just the way it's around the side. You stepped out of a little closet area and you could see it.
No, I'm not trying to see the locker. I'm seeing the response of pulling the last scepter out of the locker.
Oh, you can. It's far enough around that you really can't see. You can hear her, but disconnecting something, you really can't see her very well.
Okay, well, I'm going to. You said we can't make it to the cockpit, so I'll move enough so I can see.
You could make it if you ran.
Yeah,
you could run. It's like 50 feet to the cockpit, so you could make it if you ran.
well,
you have a greater chance of falling if you ran.
Yeah, that's why I didn't.
Dog is advising you not to do that, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not a good thing, dog.
Yeah, I'm moving enough to see the locker area, and see that there's nothing to see.
Okay.
And then continuing on towards the cockpit, running if I'm able.
So are you gonna are you hustling to try to get to the cockpit this turn or this round? Sorry.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a if you're hustling to that cockpit, give me a reflex save. And at a -2.
Two,
While you're doing that, I'm
two
gonna
down on the dice chain.
no, just 2 total. Just 2, just knock 2 off your result.
Yeah. So 17 plus 2 minus 2.
Oh, still, yeah,
You make
Yep.
it.
still a great
Yep.
roll.
So yeah, you make it to the cockpit, and so that the overseer does hear. So he kind of like in surprise turns just enough to acknowledge you, but then like turns right back to the controls because he can't really leave them unattended at the moment.
Like acknowledge me like, oh, here comes the traitor, or hey, I don't know what the hell I was talking about before.
He looks surprised for a second, but then he's also like resigned. And it's like there's not much you can do about the fact that, traitor or not, like, he's got more pressing things to deal with. But he does start talking to you though. Right there.
Oh, I just wanted to add in, that I have funky dice, but I haven't gotten them out. I use the Purple Sorcerer or the Crawler app.
Right. Yeah. That's a
My
good
phone.
call. Yeah, Elena, you can always use Purple Sorcerer.
That's true. That's true. I always forget that.
For those of you at home that don't have funky dice, yeah,
App for it too. I have it on my
Purple,
app on my
yeah,
phone.
Purple Sorcerer is awesome.
It is. It's kind of crazy how good it is. So yeah, so he so Yacht trying to think he's like, you've come to finish the deed, traitor. Fight me if you want to do more damage, do it later. Help me out now. Grab on the controls over there. And he kind of like he cocks his head towards the co-pilot seat. Trying to get you to engage with him.
I say nothing, but I am keeping my eye.
Wait till my next turn, is what you say.
I'm keeping my eye out to see if he's got a last scepter attached to his belt.
So yeah, you don't see one. Like he's got, and if he's definitely not one he has like anywhere that you can see it or in his lap or anything, and both his hands are very occupied on the yoke, like he's like white knuckling it pretty hard. He definitely could not get to it before you could get to him.
No. I'm just while his hands are occupied, I'm trying to keep an eye out to see if he's.
Yeah, you don't see one. You definitely they're not, and they're too big to conceal. And you don't see one on him. It feels like unless he's sitting on it or something. But you get the sense that he's not armed. But so now it's Big Viney Beast turn. The Big Viney Beast is gonna make a big ploy to. He's not attacking any one of you in particular. He's just attacking the thing that's keeping you all alive right now. The floor beneath your feet, aka the entire ship. Let's see how he does. So he is trying to rest. That'll be contested. Somebody, I'll Rocky, why don't you do it just so it's not me rolling against myself, just so I can feel a little bit more. And that way, if it's bad, then you can blame yourself. I'll make this a contested, basically the ship fighting against its control. So it's almost like a contested strength check, though. So just roll a d20 and tell me what you got, and I'll add whatever I need to add relevant for the ship to it. Versus this guy.
19.
Oh, good. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's you. That's good. Yeah, you. So it's lurching around some more, but it does not go down. Your role is very beneficial for you guys not crashing. You can see, by the way, from where you are, it's like you feel like there you can tell everyone can tell how much like the thrusters are getting pushed to their extreme right now.
Mhm.
If for some reason this creature just like let its jaws go or let its grip go, you guys would play this like a speed crash right into the side of the mountain right now.
Oh, wonderful.
Also, it is worth mentioning for you, Rock, you'd be able to see this from where you are. The mountain is not like there are various little like some natural and some very unnatural looking caves or cave entries in the side of it. Two in particular really stick out, one lower, one higher. You're kind of between the two of them. You can kind of see it as it lurches, which way in that. They look like almost like docking bays. Yeah, one above you, which seems to be more like, from what you can tell, seems to be in a little bit better upkeep, seems to be less damage. The other one below is like closer to the water line. I mean, it's still way above it, but it's like overgrown with like vines and like all sorts of like nastiness, but it's still like a big open landing area. The one above looks a little bit more inviting, at first glance, at least. The ship is not like automatically going to go towards one of those if it was like released suddenly. More than likely, it just probably crash into the side of the solid mountain. But just putting that out there. Anyway, so then we've got so last but certainly least in this case, well, Pilot Sully. He is going to, well, I'm gonna give him a reaction roll because he might have been a little bit him acknowledging you might not have been the best thing in the world.
Oh.
Concentration, and it wasn't.
You
And
got a reroll.
am I being asked to use it?
No, I'm joking around. You don't have to.
Well, if y'all want, I mean, this is more of an NPC roll re-roll than I guess it's anything with me, right? So, going once, going twice. If you want to re-roll on this, it's not like the end of the world either way. I'm just giving it out there. I'm gonna let it go for natural. So,
Okay.
everyone, in fact, everyone that's not attached to a device, like if you're not plugged into the wall, which I think everybody's disconnected now, go ahead and give me a reflex save.
Oh dear.
And this is gonna be a hard one to make because this is definitely like so you're gonna need everyone needs to beat a 16.
I'm gonna use my reroll.
Okay, you're in dice timeout for right now.
Yep, that's a fail.
So did anyone bleh, English is a language I use sometimes. Did anyone make their reflex save?
That's a good sign.
Nobody.
That's a sign. What was that?
How's Elena?
That was me laughing because
What happened over there?
It was
It's another pitch we can't hear.
Oh, did it cut out midway?
What?
Hang on. I'm sorry. I started laughing because literally no one said anything. I take it we all failed.
Yes.
Yeah. It's okay. Nothing terrible happens. Everyone just goes actually, well, everyone goes sliding across. Everyone hits the ground. Basically, everybody's on the ground.
And this was excluding me, correct? Or is this?
Yeah,
I thought
including everyone. Like, did you
Oh,
make?
I didn't make a check. I thought you said excluded me. That's my.
Oh no. So,
yeah, I still fall.
So, James, did you leave I'm trying to remember, did you leave the room, the kind of the locker room?
What I did is I just tried to get Lucia's pod open. So
Right.
I have the Hydra spanner. Still,
Gotcha.
I used it as a crowbar.
So you hit the ground, but you kind of like slam up against the side of the wall on the ground, but you're still in that room. The bigger problem is, Elena, you're essentially out in the main cabin, because that's where that locker is. That main cabin is where that front door is that's open. So you're sliding. Give me a luck check to see if you fail the luck check, I'm going to determine randomly what direction you slide.
Okay.
Pass it, so it will be not towards the door.
This was a really bad time to roll a nat 20.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that counts as a nat 1. I'm not gonna. That counts as a nat 1 when it. Did you roll a nat 20?
Oh, I rolled a nat 20. Yes.
Oh no. So that's gonna be.
Critical
I almost
fail.
feel no. There are no critical fails on that, so I'm not gonna automatically do the thing and count it as a. Wait, did you want to use a reroll before I roll what direction you slide, or?
I already used it, man.
I think everybody's used the rerolls now.
Yep.
Oh, for real?
Yep.
That one's fast. Okay, well, I have dice for this. I have direction dice.
Everybody
judge.
but you. Yep, everyone but you has used a reroll.
That's right. And I'd love to share it with you, but I can't. It's not how it works.
Well, you can use it in our favor.
That's true.
He could,
Well, so
depending on what the chat says.
So, but just so you know, I'm being fair. So this dice is right, left, back, forward. So forward's towards the cabin, back is towards the aft of the ship. Right would be towards the front door. Up and down, I'm not sure what those would be. I guess up would also be towards the front cabin, and down would also be towards the aft. So there's only 1 out of 6 chance it would be towards the front door.
Mhm.
Okay, it was not. It was back. So you basically skid across the ground, head over heels into the break room with a weird,
You mean the scary place with the flashing lights?
lighting. Yeah, where the alien lives. I mean, did I say that? No, I was kidding.
No, it's just the thing. It's okay.
It's the thing that's like you hear weird breathing in there. Just kidding. That didn't happen.
Just don't ask where the dog went.
The thing scarred me as a kid. That movie scarred me as a child.
First movie I saw in the theater when I was 3 years old was Alien, the original Alien, because my mom. Thanks, Mom.
That would be traumatizing. I remember that scared me when I was a kid.
It's weird. Different things bother you. I feel like when I was a kid, that didn't bother me. You know what bothered me was Empire Strikes Back scared me. I wanted to go home.
Oh,
that scared me.
What is the monster? What is it? The Balrog?
Loud noises.
Is it the Balrog in Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
The big monster in the very first one that
right.
Gandalf is the Balrog? Yeah. So that terrified me so much as a kid that I remember watching that scene when it got to that part. I was watching that scene through the reflection of the projectors, like
the glass.
The glass. I watched that scene about this big in the reflection backwards because I was like, I can't.
I was like so disappointed with what Balrog looked like in that movie. I was just like, that looks so CG.
Yeah, but I was like 5. Okay, I was 5.
Sadly a grown ass man by then. But no, I remember we had stood in line for Empire like in the first run for like 5 or 6 hours, which I guess is a long time then. Now people like camp out for days or months or whatever, but like 5 or 6 hours is like a long time. And the first like opening scenes is like loud noise, and I was like, I want to go home. My mom's like, hell no. And then I chilled out, and by the time Yoda showed up, it was all good. But like, yeah, the alien didn't freak me out because that's a very quiet monster. It doesn't like make loud noises. It doesn't like bang pots.
Yeah, definitely in the first one, it's not so
not
bad.
A pot and pan basher. It doesn't go around.
Not to mention now watching it again after so many years, not watching it, the very end scene where they shoot the monster out and it's just like a mannequin in a suit on a string and it hits the
spoilers, Elena.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're very old.
For how old the movie is, it was great, but
no, it does that great thing where it's like it's hiding in the bulkhead and you can't even see it. It's there. I love it when you see a monster and you're like looking at it the whole time. You don't even realize you're looking at it because it's like a Where's Waldo in its own shot, and then like it just reaches its hand out.
I want more of that. Like, please please, modern horror movie directors, do
I
more
haven't
of
seen
those kind of shots.
Yeah.
it. It
Please.
follows did that relatively recently, pretty well. That was a fun way. It would do like a broad daylight and then like a big crowd, and everybody's in focus, and it's like, oh, that one person's acting weird, and it takes you a while to realize. You basically realize the same time the characters realize that, because it's like that one person slowly getting closer to you. Oh God, I just or the it was that terrible movie with Liv Tyler did it really well. The Strangers.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
doing the dishes, and it's like in the background the whole time. Like
Mhm.
and a crummier movie would just like cut to a close up of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like let it breathe in the background. I mean, it's otherwise not a very good movie, but that was like pretty well done. I was very proud of that. I mean, proud of that, like having anything to do with it.
Yeah. So how do we all die?
Anyway,
yeah,
back
right.
back
I'm
to
in the scary room now.
you're in the scary room now, on your butt sliding across the floor. And so Rocky, you're so you pitch, even though it would make total sense everybody should go the same direction, that's not fun. So physics be damned. I mean, he is, like, to be fair, it is like you're on a gimbal, so it's like maybe the first jolt didn't get you, the second one did. So okay, so oh no, oh no, oh no.
Cool.
I thought maybe you'd go into the front screen and like take a hit point of head damage. No, you don't. You hit something nice and soft. That would be the overseer. You go straight into him. So you guys have a little love connection. You get pitched into him.
Mhm.
He absorbs any damage you would have taken, so that's good. But it's probably gonna make him lose even more control. So we'll let that come to bite. Let me see first of all if he does. So it'll determine our modifiers for next round.
Did that 19 do nothing?
What was
I
the
think
night? For the no, that was the previous thing. Those are two different things. There's a lot of like this shipping rocked around. Yeah, this thing is like we have to check for ship control something like 1, 2, at least 3. There's 2 times minimum per round that I have to check for the ship being jolted around. Then there's another, and then there's situational ones like he's distracted. So that was the additional one for him being distracted. So what did I just roll that for? Oh, that was just the yeah, that affected that. Okay. All right. So next round, it's just gonna start ramping up until it calms down. So now everybody's at a -3 for any type of except for James, you're at a -2 now
Okay.
for doing anything. Also, those of you on the ground, it's gonna take more than half your move to get up. It's gonna take your full move to stand, to get your sea legs. So if you're down, so everybody's down. So you can do an action, and if you want to do a move, the entire move has to be to stand, or to get your sea legs situated.
Right.
Not just the normal half of your movement. So back up to James.
Well, Lucia's fine because Lucia's strapped in still, right? Not
Still strapped in.
Yeah, completely out of it. Still nothing like jerked Lucia awake.
Yeah, she's like, it is a little concerning that she's definitely interfaced with her whatever. She's active, but yeah, she's like almost. It is a little concerning that she's not awake.
Yeah, at this point, I think Marcus, at least making sure she could get out in case something happened, would be more focused on the ship. Things are not going well. So
Yeah, she to be fair, yeah, she could get out if she was awake. She can't get out otherwise. She's not going to naturally get out. Yeah.
yeah, and if that didn't jerk her awake, I don't know what could at this point, or at least
you have to
Marcus
like
would.
basically, if you wanted to do something with her, I think your only option would be like to carry her or strap her to your back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's and judging by how everything's shaking around, it's probably better just to let Lucia lie there.
You definitely can tell that things have gone for the worse, and you can also see. I mean, you would be able to see that that Rocky ended up in the cabin, and it's like you can't tell. Maybe you didn't see that moment they connected, but you can see, and it might even look like a struggle from where you are. You can see they're on top of each other, or one of them's on top of it. They can't both be on top.
Right. Is there a way I could crawl myself over as quick? I wouldn't make it in time.
You can make it. You can make it there next round. I mean, next round you
Yeah.
can by the end and have that be like your full round.
Hmm. Okay. That might be the case. I still have my Hydra spanner. It's not like
Do the Hydra
stand
spanner. You
open.
don't
Okay.
know. You probably heard Lucia. You probably heard Lucia make a yelp or something when she fell back, and you have no eyes on her, and you didn't before anyway. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So are you standing? Is that what you're doing?
I guess I got to try. Yeah, I'll stand. I'll spend my action to stand because
Oh, actually, that's just yeah. So you can use your other action to get most of the way to the cockpit. Actually,
Mhm. Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was just gonna do
yeah,
that. It was
forgot
a
that.
question of whether or not I was gonna crawl there and use my movement
Crawling
action
would
there
take
as
you
like a
long.
dash. Yeah, it would
Crawling, you
take me
wouldn't
longer.
have to roll. You wouldn't have to. You wouldn't run the risk of lurching around in the cabin and falling out the front as much, but it would take you probably twice as long to get there, if not more, if not
Mhm.
more.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do that. I guess that'll be my turn.
Okay, so just give me a reflex save at that -2 as you cross the chamber.
Sure thing. That would be with an agility, or no?
Yeah, with your standard reflex save.
Then just 12.
Well, okay, so you're fine. You're between lurches right now, so you're okay. Okay. So Elena, you're on the you're on your butt in the flickery room.
I guess I'm gonna hold my. I'm just gonna get up, try to get my sea legs. So I'll use my full movement to do that.
So as you get to
Yes.
your feet, you don't see, as the lights flicker, you see someone. They are seated at one of the tables, and you realize actually they're slumped over the table. You're not sure if they're dead or not. They are not. They are not dressed in like that armor the natives were wearing, or the locals were wearing. This person looks like they're dressed in a work um like a work uniform, like the rest of your crew, except you can't see if it's someone you reckon. You would know everybody on the ship because there's not that many people. You can't tell who it is with their face down though.
Feed
Okay.
Duran's clone.
Oh, Duran's like atomized.
Yeah, Dorian is gone.
But also Durand was a pure human. He was not a like you guys. So because he would not have a clone.
Mhm.
So in fact,
Um.
you guys are the only ones that have clones in that clone chamber, because you guys are the only ones on that mission that are that were geared for that. There are some others that are like that back on the ship that's in orbit that you came from, that probably may be unaware of what you're going through right now, but
Mhm.
has no way of getting to you.
Okay.
There's a just in case anybody's curious, you're the only like full size launch from your ship, from your master ship, but there are like lifeboats.
Mhm.
They can go down, they can't get back up though. So the only surface to ship thing that you're in, the only surface to ship vehicle from your main ship. So you can send things down from the main ship in theory if you could talk to them. Anyway, sorry. So what were you gonna do with the rest of your action?
So the rest of my turn, because I can't, because now that I've gotten my sea legs, I can't really move.
I would say you're close enough if you wanted to like interact with this slumped
Can I
body.
poke it?
Yeah, you could probably pull its head back, see what it is. You could poke it.
Okay. I'm gonna poke him. I'm gonna like poke him and be like, hey,
See if they're alive.
buddy. Yeah.
Something squirms beneath his skin.
Oh no! Oh! Why you
That
gotta?
didn't happen. That didn't happen.
No, I
But
don't like it.
you're not trying to like see who it is. You're just trying to see if they're alive.
Yeah, basically, I'm just like I'm gonna try and get his attention if he's alive and see if he'll look at me.
Gotcha. So let's do this. Go ahead and yeah, fuck it. All right, so there's no response. Sorry. No response. And there certainly was no response I just gave. Yeah, the body does not move and feels dense and heavy. Dead person, kind of. But
Yeah.
it's hard to tell with all the turbulence too. So maybe they're a heavy sleeper.
Can I search him for like identification?
Sure, you'd be able to search him. No, next turn you can search him. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Then I'm just
Absolutely.
gonna. Yeah. Then my action is just checking to see if he's alive.
Okay. So Rocky, you're like still on. You're rather intimate with your overseer right now, leaning on him. And he's like yelling at you to get off of him, and just continually yell for you to get in that seat.
Yeah, well, that's my plan. Is I'm gonna go go fast myself in the seat, and but while I'm doing it, I'm gonna say to him that we're no traitors, and then I'm gonna yell back to everyone else. The overseer is still under mind control.
Okay. And Marcus is going to shout back and say, "Copy," or just something of that variety.
And I'm gonna try to help him control the ship.
I'm going to assume that I can't hear this going on because I'm now in the galley.
You can hear the yelling. You can't necessarily make out everything that they're saying, but you can hear the back and forth yelling. So as the overseer like starts kind of like telling you what to grab and how to pull back on the yoke and how to follow his lead, he also kind of like looks at you. What mind control? What is wrong with you? What are you talking about?
You focus on driving, Eileen. We'll talk later.
You notice something though also. So again, you're not super familiar with the controls, but you do know somewhat what some of the little you know something about the readouts. You see a sensor readout, like a red light flashing on one of them. It's like a proximity alert that just started suddenly going off, which is possibly due to the fact that this creature's wrapped all around you. But the fact that it just went off is weird. The overseer seems to be unaware of this because he's not sitting where you're sitting.
Well, if I can, then I will say proximity alert.
Okay.
He like looks over and the ship lurches a little bit, but not enough for anybody to lose it. He's like, it's not the creature, it's something else. It's above us. Something else is coming here. What treachery is this? And then that's everything that happens there. And so go ahead and give me a so Rocky, go ahead and so it's the creature's turn, and it yanks again. You can feel like it's a pretty dramatic like connection between the yokes and actually the ship's attitude. So like you can feel like the sticks try to jump out of your hand, and you have to fight to control them. So give me a strength check.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay, cool. Yep, that'll definitely. In fact, so that was the opposite of that for me. So I'm gonna say that that actually gives you a little that does more than just keep you solid. That so your dirty 20 was up against that the creature's one. So I'm gonna say that means something that you're able to like you being in that position, you break free, at least somewhat. Maybe because it's got multiple like tentacles around you. At least you broke somewhat free by holding on to control that way. You can feel the ship kind of like the thrusters on your side start to groan less, and then you kind of like start to rotate because you're like pivoting on an axis where like the left side of the ship's still being held in place, but your side is starting to go to the side, because that part's free. So basically now the mountain's on your side. The world kind of spins a little bit, and you see another ship
Oh boy.
bearing down on you from above. It's still a little ways away. Man, you'd be the only person that sees this at this point. You and Overseer. This ship does not look like it. It doesn't look modern. It looks like conceivably uh it looks conceivably like an Imperial design, but like definitely way out of date. It's like an old junker, but and it's smaller than the ship that you're on. If you didn't know any better, you'd think maybe it's like a fighter or something. But who knows? Who knows what these old designs are? Not firing on you. It's just it is kind of like bearing down on you.
We've got company.
Marcus says, "Got it. Grabbing weapons."
The Overseer looks just as surprised as you do to see this. He's like, "You're free on your side. Hit the accelerator. We'll get out of here somehow." He kind of like gestures towards a thruster, like an over thruster, and you kind of you get the sense that you're really really close to this mountain. This guy's getting pretty desperate. You're not sure. It's hard to tell if he's giving you a desperate command or a well-informed command, but he's trying to get you to hit this button. And if you want to, I'll give it to you as an extra action, as a free action, because it's just a button to press, basically.
Well, assume I'm doing this as an informed choice by the judge. Like you said, we're rotating on one axis because one side's free and the other one's not. So if I hit the overthruster, unless it magically frees us, then we'll just be spinning faster.
It's possible. Yeah, it could definitely be that, or
or do I perceive it differently?
I mean, he said that he thinks that it'll make you break free. Is what he thinks. You've not been in a situation like this before, but you could probably see whatever you think uninformed in real life might happen, just likely to be what your character would think in this case. You can definitely feel that like there's a definite shift in like where the drag is on the ship. Like you're leaning towards the left as that side's free, like you can feel the sense that it has a precarious hold on you right now.
I'll punch it.
Okay. All right. So let's I'll leave this up to the fates then. And really it's about okay, yeah, go ahead and give me a let's do a luck check for you. And let me know if you make it or not. You made it?
Fail.
Oh, fail. Okay.
Oh.
So that's gonna be. So you spin. So the ship's like just like you were thinking, like jerks all the way around. Like does a complete loop-de-loop where you actually see like it spins you. So the cockpit like gets a big close-up of two big smiley, lizard vine creature monster faces. And the spins right continues to spin past them right back to where you started from. There's like a 360 basically. And then there's a very loud explosion off to your right as that thruster is just dead.
Not fun.
That just wore it out. And so it just bursts. Back in the after the ship. So Elena, as you're kind of like back there, this does not actually affect you directly, but that explosion that thruster is not far from where you are. Not enough to like hit you, but like there's a huge. You feel the impact of that explosion. You're able to grip the table so you don't fall, but then there's light. The room is short. There's suddenly light in the room that there wasn't there before, because there's a huge hole in the ship beyond further aft from the break room. So basically the hallway that leading out of the break room to like the like sleeping chambers and like the potty, there's a big hole. There's a big hole where that was.
Mm.
uh, poop out the hole.
Who said that's going to stop me?
I mean, that's getting the spirit with the medieval way of things, right? Then they
Yeah.
poop out
My garderobe.
but yeah, so you're you got a good eye view of that. Also, you hear a couple of screams from back there, as there are at least two people that you can see flash out of the hole, that they were in the hallway, like waiting. You're not sure what they're waiting for, if they're just crew members trying to survive, if they're waiting to ambush you as enemies. You're not sure what they were, but they're out the window now, or out the hole now, so who cares?
They didn't come down with us. They're not with us.
Yep.
Well, they could have been.
Against us.
There were other people on that. You guys were not the only ones besides the overseer. There were some other people that were left behind. You just don't know who survived that firefight. They could have been hiding from the enemies who had infiltrated that earlier fell out the thing. They could have been those enemies, more of those enemies. You have no idea. You just saw. You couldn't really register anything other than the two people were sucked out the hole. It happened so fast you couldn't really get a good beat on what they were even wearing. You could barely tell they were people. But yeah, so you've got this thing is like turning into Swiss cheese pretty rapidly. Everyone's starting to get the sense, I would say, Rocky, you in particular, that you've got a limited amount of time before this ship just kind of like gives up the ghost, whether or not it's held by this creature or not. This turns into a crumpled Coke can pretty soon. And I would say, just to give you a ticking clock, you've probably got about 3 rounds to do something before this ship becomes 3 rounds before you at least start something, or change your situation in some degree before it's, if it stays the way it is, it's gonna probably not end up well for it. It's either gonna lose power completely and just get something bad's gonna happen. Anyway, so that was so the last guy to go is again our full Sully, right? That's where we were. I just went. You just pulled against that. So he's so let's see. I'm gonna make this a stranger. I'm gonna make an alternate of a morale check for him to see if he makes a bad decision or not, because he's starting to freak out and he can't really run
Another bad decision.
To be fair, he was the only person keeping the ship afloat.
Yeah, but he's the one that told me to push the overthruster.
It might have worked.
I pushed it. It was just a button push.
Anyway, so let's see if he makes a terrible decision or not. You want to roll over morale, right? Okay, I always forget what the morale rules. You want to roll over morale, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. Okay, so yeah, so that didn't work. So he once again goes to his old standby and just starts like firing the front cannons like crazy. Because he's spinning around, he's just, you can only imagine he's hoping he gets a front. He just in the spinning, he maybe hits the creature. You can see that that's not going to happen. But he's just firing willy nilly. As that's happening, you hear something over all the other noises. Rocky, you hear a crackling voice come over the intercom basically on the ship to ship intercom on the front, not the overall thing, but like somebody's trying to communicate to your ship. And it's all broken up, but it's like dock, safe, must dock, get off ship. So if you wanted to, I would let you take a Rock. If you wanted to do anything, you would know how to operate the callback button or the response button. If you wanted to try to engage it, I would give you a freebie to try to start that process if you wanted to.
Sure.
Do you want to? I'll give you like one thing you can say this round, or since we're off your turn, I'll give you before next round. I can give you like one. You can get like a sentence out. Did you want to try to communicate back to the whoever's communicating with you?
Trapped by creature will try to dock.
All right. And the last thing you can hear before we go back up to the top of the round is something about port, above, main cabin. And we are back to James. So you are halfway through the main cabin or a little bit more than halfway through the main cabin towards the cockpit, right?
Yep, and I told Hydra that I would go back and grab weapons at this point, and I don't know anything about what's going on with the front, so
you can see into there, and you can see that Hydra's leaned forward and engaged the comm to talk to somebody.
Okay. Well, I also don't know about the ship that's above us, do I?
No, but you can hear. Yeah, you can hear. There's somebody is communicating with you. But you're not sure what they're.
At this point, when in doubt, I'm just gonna try and fill my role without as much questioning as I can.
So you're going back to the.
I'm gonna try and get into the restricted locker. Yeah.
Into the restricted locker. All right, so yeah, you can definitely do that. So as you walk back to the restricted locker, you can see what oh my gosh, dog. No. Your dog. You can see Elena and also the big hole in the back of the ship now too. As she's kind of like gripping onto the table, there's a dead body slumped over it that's wearing an officer's uniform. Or
I didn't do this.
A crew duty uniform.
Yeah, and this is Danielle, right? I was gonna say it's not Lucia.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. I
am a man.
So yeah, you get to the. You can easily make it to the locker. Go ahead and give me a. So as things are escalating, you'll be at a -3 to cross this time.
Okay.
Everyone else crossing a room will be at a -4.
All right. Well, I'm gonna fail this, but we'll try anyway, right?
I believe.
With my agility, that's a 16.
Okay, that's fine. You make it. So yeah, so you get over to the locker and you see the same battered damage on it that I was referring to before.
Would it be? Sorry, go ahead.
There's a little red light on the handle which indicates that the lock is engaged.
Okay. Would I be able to kind of quickly discern if I could pry it open with a Hydra spanner, perhaps, or would I need something more? Because I know I don't.
The key card would be the best, but obviously you don't have that.
Not anymore. No.
But I don't know if you ever had a key card for that one.
I did. I got one from Durant.
Oh, that's right. That's a bummer. If only there was someone else on this ship that might have one on them.
Well, it's too late now.
But yeah, you could. I mean, you really there's not a good egress point for the tool you have. You could just mindlessly bash the control and hope it works.
And the other locker's open, I can tell, and everything's
the other locker is open. There's no projectile weapons there, but if you want, we can determine what else is in there in case there's a random item that you might come up with a cool use for.
Okay, yeah, I'll see what. I'll take a look real quick, as if it were a glance. It's not like an action.
Now I have to get the little list. Dang it! No, just kidding. Well, I actually have it in front of me.
Yeah,
I think
you find a batleth.
You find
communicator.
You find communication flag loading, screen loading. I actually think I do have it right here.
Find the diadem.
Oh yeah. Hopefully nobody's diadems are on right now and you're reporting your failures back to the main ship. No.
That's the least of my concerns right now.
Actually, though, you don't have those on right now, but in a weird way, that would probably be helpful because it's probably the only way the people back on the main ship in orbit would know you guys are in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
But hang on, I actually do have it right here. Hang on. So here we go. So so I'll let you roll a few times for me. So I'm gonna have you roll a D10 a couple times. So roll it.
Gotcha.
So roll D10 unmodified.
Unmodded. How many times?
This one initially.
Okay. 2.
Okay. Where'd it go? Oh. Okay. So there's a field kit for sure in there, which is basically like medical supplies, a couple of flare beacons. There is a blood oxygen hypo, which can be used as a stimulant. In theory, something that could impossibly bring Lucia back to consciousness if that's all she needs. It also has like it has a hypo sealant. It also has like a spray sealant, which is like a mostly for wounds, but in theory can actually gum up gaps in like between metal, but I'm not like giant holes or anything.
Right.
Also, so now roll a D20.
D20, gotcha. 18.
Okay, so there's a spray nylocord in there.
Always the spray nylon.
There's also okay, roll again. Hang on, I'm gonna see if these are gonna be random or not.
D20, right?
Yep.
19.
19. So
using all my good rolls.
No, I think that might there's also
before we crash.
Yeah, right.
There's a handheld set of mag clamps in there, which is basically like you can put them on like gloves and hold onto things.
Okay.
And they're pretty strong magnetic. There's one pair of mag clamps that that basically fit over your hands. And then there's also a corrosion canister. Basically, it's something that it's meant to dissolve. It's got several purposes. The corrosion spray quickly destroys organic matter, but also it's mostly used for if you have like non-degradable biodegradable waste that you want to get rid of so it doesn't leave like you're not going to mess with the crime directive by leaving Coke cans behind. But if you know well enough about this that if you were to expel like the whole bottle of the spray can, it'll eat through like a decent chunk of like steel too. It takes a few rounds though.
Okay. There's
a corrosive spray canister, like a little bit it can be used as a weapon. You can spray it into his face and melt their face off.
An
But yeah,
idea.
so there was the Nyla. So I said the Nyla cord, the spray canister, and I told you about the mag clamps.
Mm-hmm.
I need one more roll.
D20.
Mhm.
Gotcha. 6.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh,
You find that flamethrower.
actually, maybe not far off from being as useful. There's a rocket propelled grapple in there.
Now,
Which,
those are the words I like to hear.
so it's a single use item. Again, it fires. It has its main purpose is to fire a grappling hook, a high velocity grappling hook. You know that you've been around the block enough to know that the other things it can be used for. It can be used to like knock things down with a pretty good force. It's actually it's like an area effect, a small area effect battering ram. Like it would knock down 2 people next to each other for sure. Also, depending on how you are, the person firing it is normally you have to like take a knee when you do it, or have somebody behind you because the back push on it with the recoil, that's the word. It's extremely strong. In fact, if you were in the middle of the void of space, you've heard stories of people using those to get themselves to use it as a way to like get themselves back to a ship they've fallen off of. So it's got a little bit of force, and also it can be. So the grapple itself is meant to be connected to. It's got a separate cord, but it can also be connected to the spray Nyla cord container as well.
Okay.
So yeah, all those various things. Now that's the largest thing in there. So that's something that one's a two-hander. Everything else can just be like pretty. The Nyla cord spray, the corrosive canister, the mag clamps. They're all like, if you had pockets, they're technically like, or if you had like, they could be kind of.
Yeah, we can assume my gear above would probably have pockets, right?
Actually, yeah, you do have. That's right. You're the one that's fully dressed. I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have. The only other thing that you couldn't just like shove into a pocket would be if you could strip open the field kit to pull out like particular things out of it you wanted, but like the whole kit itself you'd have to carry if you took the field kit. But inside it's got like it's got basically a it's got a stim hypo. It's got at least one stim hypo. Usually has a little bit of emergency rations, has first aid sealant, and it does have a mini torch multi-tool unless somebody's right. You're not sure if it's been picked over yet. Flashlight, a couple of beacon flares, and then that blood oxygen enrichment thing that can be used.
How much could I conceivably take within my turn?
I mean, you can empty the vast majority of it into a pocket. I think the only thing you'd have to like the only things that you couldn't all like you could take, so that you can take the hypos plus the so it's everything's in there if you open it. I'm just gonna say you open it up. It's the multi-tool with a mini torch or and flashlight. That's gonna be something that like that takes up the majority of the space. The beacon flares, there's 2 standard and 2 what they call dark beacons that are basically like traceable only with like it's like the kind of like a black light, I guess. But you could take you could take the stim hypo, which is actually a hit point replacer. You could also take the stimulant hypo, which also should have been called the stim hypo, but it's not. It's the one that could like rouse someone. It basically gives you stamina back. The tissue sealant, those will all fit in a pocket. I feel like you could take everything in the field kit or leave some of those things behind and also take the grappling.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do, I think to make sure we're at least level on the ship, I'm gonna take the mag clamps for one. Then the stims. I'd like to take them all, right? But maybe the rocket propelled grappler, yeah, as well. And would I still have time to at least get my try a hand at getting the restricted locker open?
Um, Probably not this round. You could do. I mean, you're gonna probably be sorting out all that stuff. That would
Mhm.
probably take up the majority of the time.
This
Plus,
is starts the countdown of 3 rounds, right?
yeah,
Yeah, it is. That's
yeah.
what I'm
The
worried
odds you
about.
getting the restricted one. I mean, you know that it's gonna take a significant amount of bashing without a key card to get in there. You wouldn't be able to get into it in one round anyway. It's gonna take probably a couple of solid rounds, unless
Yeah,
unless you used, you do have some things in your possession. I didn't think about that until just now. You might have some things in your possession that might work on it.
hmm such as the
Spray cancer.
yeah, the spray canister would work. Yeah, the corrosive can.
You
Take
Or
know,
out.
the
or
corrosive can should work. You're not sure if it's going to work fast enough. That's the only problem. But
hmm
it could, as it's that combined with something else, like if it eats half the way through and that, and you could smash the rest of the way, that's a possibility.
I
you
think
could
I'll.
hook the grappling hook to it and then shoot it out of the ship.
There you go.
Mix it
You
up.
could actually. I mean, that's crazier plans have been forged.
hmm Mm. See, at that point though, I don't know how much power it would just take like the whole locker out, right? Unless it's bolted down.
It's not that strong, and the
Yeah.
locker's bolted down. Yeah, it's the
Okay.
door is part of the bulkhead.
Yeah, it would take
I
the
mean, sorry,
handle.
the locker is part of the door, not the bolt, not the door.
Mhm.
But you have a round to think about that because you wouldn't be able to do any of that this round. So
All right. So
you
I
also have
guess
mag
would I be able to?
clamps. You could I don't know. You mean if you the mag clamp could also act as an anchor somehow because it could the door.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna try and put like a mag clamp on the wall on my hand, just kind of keep myself.
yeah. So in case, yeah, that you can do. That can be that you can do this round. You can kind of secure yourself with one of the mag clamps to the nearest wall. So that
Mm-hmm.
gives yourself a better chance of reacting to any pitching or rolling the ship does. Okay.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that'll be it then, because
yeah.
that's all I could probably do. Yeah.
Elena, so you're still there. There's that body there. Were you gonna search him?
Yeah, I'm gonna search him this round, see if he's got anything useful left on him.
Um, he has very little of any significance, but why don't you give me a luck check for one item he might have?
All right. I got my luck check. Yeah.
Made it.
Yep.
So as you're searching this guy, you were like, you pull out a little thing out of his pocket that has his face on it. You realize it's actually not the same guy. But lucky for you, the identification that he has in his pocket happens to be an access key.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Can I
You do
make
not
it?
recognize this person,
Okay.
but yeah, and yeah, you can.
Can I make it to can I force myself
Yep.
Use double movement, I guess?
Yeah, you don't even need double movement to get there. You're a
Okay.
lot closer to it. You just have to make sure you just have a -4 to your reflex save.
Okay.
Right. So you gotta roll.
17?
Oh, yeah, that does it.
Cool.
So you make it to the locker, and you can even you can even
I can activate it.
activate it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that then.
And there's a scary moment where it starts to move and it stops because maybe the door got bent a little bit during all the bashing, but then it keeps going and opens.
Whew.
So this has been somewhat picked over, but there are things in here. So let's do the same thing as before. I'm gonna have you roll a give me, hang on, I'm gonna tell you what. Where's my other, that's a separate chart. Sorry. Well, go ahead and roll a d20.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you do that maybe a couple times.
9.
Okay.
That's the
Go ahead and
third
roll it
time in a
3
row.
times. So
Okay.
give me 3 rolls and tell me what. So 9, what, and what?
8.
Mm-hmm.
6.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm giving this poorly stocked shuttle only 1 star review.
Seriously, yeah. Like, this is the worst ship I've ever been on.
It's a landing boat. For
We have
by
higher
landing boat,
expectations.
by landing boat standards, I can tell you this, even without the full chart, that okay, a couple things. So um you find a new basically a nano booster cell, which is basically like an inhalant that's going to give you a certain amount of, it's going to basically roll for whenever you want. It'll boost one of your special ability. It's basically, it gives you pneuma to raise for one, uh possibly, depending on what it rolls, possibly for more than one round. It'll raise your ability to use your ability. Whoever uses it, their special ability will be raised.
Okay.
It'll add a bonus. You're not sure what until you use it,
Okay.
but anyone can use that, except for an android. The other thing, so that was the ninth. The other one that was in there was where to go. Oh, there's a chain belt, like a bandolier, with, it looks like three color coded grenades on it. Of you don't actually you don't really remember what, or maybe you never even knew what what the colors represent. You know that typically, like, probably one is concussive, like a standard grenade, and you're not sure what the other ones are.
Okay.
Smoke grenade, who knows? But at least one of them you're pretty sure. There's a red, a blue, and a green. In fact, you feel, you got a hunch that the red is the concussive, but
Okay.
don't quote me on that. And then finally, okay, so you got that one. Is that one? So you had, okay, so you have the Numa packet that I told you about, right? And
Yep.
there's, now both these things you can carry without any problems because the
Okay.
bandolier slips over your shoulder. Numa packet's like it's like the size of a little face mask you'd put on like when you lose your cabin pressure. And this is not this is not the last thing. There is a, pardon me, a remote piloting computer in there, which allow it's not really of much help now, but basically it can it's meant to be, usually the remote piloting computer is meant to, if a ship has more than one launch boat, it can like remote pull the other one down. Your ship only has one. In theory, it could somehow override and send the ship that you're on, in theory, back to the orbital ship if used properly. And if it's also, of course, there are lots of holes in this ship now, just
yeah.
but in theory, that you would know how to use this well enough. You could set it to override the manual controls and have it like, and plot a course towards whatever you wanted that you knew about.
Okay.
But it has an auto beacon back to the ship, the
Okay.
main ship. Of course, that would be in the vacuum mode. Well, it's in high orbit, so it's technically a little bit of atmosphere, but whatever. And then there's one more thing. Hang on, what was that last roll? Was 6, you say? Okay. All right, so looks like the last thing is so like there's a portable thruster pair. So basically it's like these little, like, it's like these two little handles that have like metal things that go up your arms, and you can use it to like little, it's meant to be used in space, but it'll push you like a thruster. It does have you can use it in atmosphere. It's not going to let you like zip around and fly in atmosphere, but it could like influence like a big jump, or you could use it to get to Super Mario jump a little bit one time.
Oh
that's
no.
disposable thruster pair. But yeah, it's basically it's like a weird it's like compressed air on a trigger that connects to your arm to both your arms. Also, you can fairly easily carry all that stuff. The rest of it, there are things in there that are not of much else value. There's like parts from a couple of long range rifles, but like they've been like cannibalized, and like most of them have been like probably pulled out during the fight. So it's like a stock or a barrel, or maybe if you had enough time, you might have enough parts to like make one gun out of all of them, but also that's questionable. And the remote piloting computer, which has very little use except for that what I described, took up the majority of the space that was left in here.
Okay.
But yeah, those are what you've basically found. Did you get all that down that
Yeah.
you want? Now the
Yeah.
remote piloting computer, you wouldn't want to carry it around. You could like pull it out and like put it on a table and then like use it, but it's not like a portable with air quotes around it, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. It's like
Um
kind of like a bulky laptop, I guess.
yeah, well it's like if you were carrying around like a print like a large printer or something, you
Oh
know.
god.
Or
Okay.
not a large printer, like an average sized
We're
printer.
talking like suitcase size
Yeah,
portable
pretty
computer.
much. It's like
Okay.
yeah, that's a
Hmm.
good
Okay, gotcha.
uh,
Gotcha.
yeah, a
I'm gonna feel
weekend.
like James Bond, like unlatching this thing, and it's got that computer that I'm gonna be a hacker man, get into the system.
Yeah, exactly. So, am I taking it? You're gonna take everything but that thing, or what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I'll take everything but that. Can I open up the portable
Sure.
thing
Computer.
just to see like the controls, see if I
Hmm.
can fiddle with it at all?
Yeah.
Maybe not this turn actually do
You
anything
just
with
want to.
it, but
Do you want
just
to do
like
it where,
survey
right?
it.
You want to do it just there and there, so you don't have to like move it somewhere.
Yeah, like I figured
Yeah, you can
if
crouch
there's
down.
enough, yeah, if there's enough room in this locker that I can just open it, then
Yeah.
I'd like to take a look at
Yeah.
it.
So you pop it open, and the lights all come on, so it's still functioning, and you can see a little. There's a little screen on there, which is just a digital. It's not like an actual, like video display. It's just like symbols, right?
Okay.
And it has like a little, kind of readout of like it's got a grid over it, and you can see on it. There's a representation for the beacon, which
Okay.
is basically the mountain you're near. There's also a representation for your orbital ship. Um, and there's a bunch of grayed out areas that what it doesn't recognize and there's also like a manual little like teeny weeny little like those old school like joysticks where it's just like a little stick that on a ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So you could that's like the really like kind of de facto like manual control,
Mm-hmm.
because you can also see where you're represented on it. And it has like it basically has an engage button that's just flashing, waiting to be engaged. Right now, it's set to auto. It's preset to want to go back to the ship. That's its
Okay.
first like. If it's away from the ship, that's it. You can engage. If you hit that button, it would try to do that without anything else happening.
Okay.
Or you could also try to select one of the non-grayed out targets, which the only other one being like the beacon, and it would try to take you the safest path. Well, you think it would take you the safest path to the beacon.
Okay. All right, cool. So now that I know what that is, I won't mess with it this turn since I've basically done two
Yeah, you're fine
searches.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'll now that I've kind of seen what it does, I'll see what I can do with it next turn.
So Rocky, you're still interfacing with that communicator, right?
Well, I mean, I used it, yeah.
Or what are you doing? So you're still kind of like, so your flight yoke is basically dead. You has no resistance anymore after the engine blew out.
Okay, do I know if there's any emergency like parachutes, paragliders, anything like that?
Um, the you do know that your seats, I can't. Those seats themselves can eject. Um, there are flight benches and I guess this is probably good. I should have mentioned this earlier. So you are in a place where you have an ejection seat. So the main cabin, the jump cabin, has like a row of has like a benches against the wall opposite the open broken door, and those all have underneath in various intervals underneath the jump cushion. You can grab, like anyone else could get like a parachute, or yours has actually yours actually does have an ejection seat.
So just so I understand, um, so that so inside the cockpit with us is a row of benches that I could have everyone
Not
else.
in the cockpit, no. So you're in the cockpit. In the cockpit, just that there's two main seats in the cockpit. Both those seats actually function as, if they're operating properly, function as ejector seats. That would just, like, the whole seat would become a projectile. In theory, taking you safely out of it, but who knows? There's been a lot of structural damage to the hull. You're not sure if it, like, you've never seen one of these in use. You don't know if it, like, pops a hole in the ceiling that you're supposed to go through, or if it opens up you're not sure exactly how it works. It definitely doesn't kick you out you definitely does not kick you out the glass of the in front of you, because that would be at a strange angle. So you'd have to, like, put you through a sunroof or something that you don't physically see right now. Or maybe it drops you through the floor. Who knows? You just recognize the control that says, that's the ejection control. Now, as far as anyone else, the jump seats, the jump bench is in the room just behind you. It's in the one big one you were crossing to get in here. There's opposite that big open bay door is a big jump bench that has intervals, allegedly. You'd have to actually check to see if they were still there. Who knows who was on this earlier? Allegedly there should be, like, little jump packs to get out. Probably just parachutes in that case. That's, like, the most, it's not the most sophisticated way of getting out. Your seat's the only one that has, like, a propulsion to it.
Okay, so this is something that we all know, right?
In theory, yeah. It's an easy thing to forget, because you're not usually in a situation where you would use that, but as you were looking for that, you kind of remembered that. Yes. I mean, if you yelled back to them, you could probably remind them.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I look to the overseer and I say, "Isn't there something we can push for, like, auto landing to that bay up there?"
Oh, are you trying to get him? You're talking about the bay above you, the nicer looking one?
Yeah, like something, like, so instead of us, like, I mean, this thing's got a hold of us, but we could be concentrating on trying to get rid of that instead of trying to just keep it aloft without smashing it and stuff.
He kind of looks at you and kind of squints. He's like, "You'd want that, wouldn't you? I saw what's up there.
Versus death, yeah.
You're trying to put us right in their hands, aren't you? It's been your plan all along. You think I'm an idiot? You think I don't know what's up there waiting on that landing platform?"
I don't know. Right now, we're looking at death. If you got a better idea, do it.
This ship's going down no matter what.
So you'd rather us all die?
You just tell me why you're here and tell me what your plan is, and I will decide, because I don't want to help you. If my death means you don't get to damage our empire.
Okay, so you're still mind controlled because we don't have time to have a discussion while we're trying not to smash into the mountain. So if you're not going to help, I'll try to see if we can save the day. So
What about the lower one? I don't get any reading of anyone down there.
if you want to go into the one that's close to the radioactive water, mutating radioactive water, that's fine too. As long as we don't crash right now, which we're about to do. If you can get there, get there.
Give me. I'll let you, since he's so kind of, like, nuts right now, not thinking clearly. I'll leave it a little bit up to the roll of the dice. Go ahead and give me a person. I'll just do a personality check for you.
Okay, that's gonna fail.
It's okay. It's gonna be opposed. So
Yeah, well, I'm already starting out with the negative.
yeah, well, we'll see what happens.
Let's see.
You do have fleeting luck, by the way. Don't want to.
-1.
We all have fleeting luck still.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that shit.
well, that's if I get anywhere close.
True.
No, you don't know. I mean, remember, this is an opposed roll. You have no idea how badly.
Ooh, net 20.
No, that's
There
already
we go.
it's already better than what I rolled by a lot. So yeah, you get an extra luck then. Also, so you were trying to convince him to go. You were trying to see if like you could get him to get on board to going towards the upper landing platform, right?
I'm trying to find out if there's any way for us to like like I said, like instead of like to focus on breaking free of the monster's grasp rather than trying to just keep the ship from crashing, even though it's about to fall apart. So like if there's like an auto landing beacon thing, whatever, like that we could push, that would help. If the ship's already trying itself to land,
He's like, yes, I can auto sequence it to go towards the beacon. Beacon, I'm not sure where that'll put this, but it's not going to throw us in the mountain if it's operating properly. He starts flipping switches for that, unless you want me to do something different.
Okay, now unless there's something else I need to do, I'm going to try to use my power, my potency, to try to chill him out.
Okay.
So he is
Or actually
doing
not to chill out, to see if I can try to help him resist the mind control. If it's possible with my empath powers.
Do you really think he's being mind controlled, huh?
Yeah, from the beginning. From when he contacted us and kept insisting he was going to exfiltrate us.
I was trying to think where you got that from, and I remember because that happened to Durant. So I guess that makes sense that you would think that too.
Well, that in combination with him not acting at all like himself.
Yeah, true enough. So right now he is. I mean, just know that if for whatever reason it goes horribly wrong and you roll badly, you could throw him off what he's doing right now. He's not actually though. He's not doing that much. He's just active.
I don't expect it to work. I'm just
honestly, yeah. I just realized actually it didn't matter because he just flipped the automatic process. So, so yeah, you can definitely So tell me what you're trying to do specifically.
I'm trying to help him resist the mind control with my empath powers, if it's possible.
So,
be it make him feel iron will or confidence, or I don't know what I can do. That's my intention.
Trying to give him like a kind of not like a euphoric boost, but I guess, but something in that kind of, just a can do kind of like give him a little bit of a personality back or something.
Can we do it? Yes, we can.
Well, we're gonna die if not.
Damn it! You're our overseer. You need to make sure we continue the mission successfully.
Yeah. Okay. So go for it. Yeah. Let's give it a shot. How do you want? Do you want to do it like naked, then add luck later if you want, or do you want to boost it to begin with?
I'm not going to boost it to begin with because I don't have a lot. So
right.
I don't have a lot. If
well, keep in mind your physical
have to roll, it's like either I'm going to have to roll up another character or I'm going to have a crippled character. So,
well, I will mention this that with your the spell burn equivalent with this is from your physical stats, and your physical stats are at full. If you had dropped before because you're in that new body, so I don't know.
Then I can be in a terrible, even worse physical shape than I already am.
I don't know how badly your initial physical state is, so.
So
sounds like
down one stamina, and I already have low stamina. Or no, that was my other body was down one stamina. Sorry, but anyway,
you're not. But your new body is not down one stamina.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a stamina of 6.
Oh, okay, but that's your normal max.
That's my clones one. Okay, so anyway, rolling and hoping that it does anything.
Okay.
Nope.
So what did you end up rolling?
That's a 4 minus 1. That's a 3.
Okay. So
Oh,
And we have four. We have four. What we have four fleeting luck. I don't think that's going to make the difference.
no, probably not.
now would be a great time, viewers, to start giving us rerolls.
Well, oh wait, so everybody did use their reroll?
Yeah, we all did.
Everyone
Except
but
for you. Oh, we already got we got a player buff.
Which
That's
Yes,
plus
well.
1.
which our overseer could use to break free of his mind control.
Mhm. That's true. I'm up for using it that way.
Okay,
or
fine. I'll give it to you. Why not? It's late. I'll let you roll for that one. I'll use my
Did you
my
check chat too?
What's that?
I said, did you check chat too?
Yeah, there's a player buff for +1.
Yep.
No,
You
I
can
meant
use
our
that.
chat. Our
You want
chat.
to use that and also the reroll? I'm giving you a reroll.
No, I was separately just talking about our chat.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah. Our chat
Oh,
we can go a little bit over.
Yeah, we can play longer to make up for our time.
Yeah. Well, do you want to use I'm offering you as a one-time offer, take it or leave it if you want to use the reroll that I was gifted. I'll give it to you because you did give him a person.
Yes.
You did convince him to at least take a course of action. So
I'm going to vote out of the three of us. How about that? My vote is for yes.
Chat is saying to use it. Yep.
Yep. Time to use that reroll.
Use that reroll.
And do you want to
Nat
add
one, nat
player
one.
boost to it also, or I guess you could do that.
Nat 1.
No,
No
really?
bad juju. No. It
No.
Oh,
wasn't.
God. I was like, damn.
You gonna reroll, Rocky?
I don't have one.
Well,
Yeah, I gave
No.
Clay is giving you his.
I gave you because you had
Oh.
successfully interacted with him and kind of got him
Oh.
a plan. I'm giving you the reroll.
I don't know. His chances, I would imagine his chances are better than my chances, but if that's the way it works,
You're
I'll
doing
take it.
you're re-rolling your mind help.
Yeah,
Your
my
power.
my assistants, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just guessing, not knowing. I would assume that his chance to resist his mind control is better than my chance of successfully doing whatever I'm trying to do. But here we go.
Also assuming that he's mind controlled, so
Yeah, that's true.
but
Oh,
you're
wait a minute, I forgot. I got bonuses to use my powers.
yeah. It's still that first roll would not have helped you, but
Yeah, the personality roll.
But do you want to you do want to use I'm giving you the reroll if you want to use it. It's not a discretionary one. It's a or it is a discretion. It's not non-discretionary.
Wait a minute. Okay, the reroll. Am I re-rolling my personality roll? Am I rolling
You're re-rolling your ability score. The pure personality one you made, that was earlier. No, this is for your power.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay, so
If you want to use that player buff too, if you want, I don't know much about this player buffs. I'm gonna treat that like I guess you can treat it like luck. You could choose afterwards. I don't know.
Wait, what is it? Oh, well, I mean, yeah, it'd be.
Is that one? Is it kind of like meant to be used like luck? You could use it after the roll.
Okay,
Yeah.
you got a guess. Bobby. Sorry, hold on. We've been at my house. We've had a horde invasion in my room.
Oh no!
Hold on.
Out, Gucci.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No worries.
The dog snuck in.
Oh, my dog's coming over now. He's like heard people talking about dogs.
Yeah. So
Sleepy pants.
+1. Okay. So
You want to? Yeah, and you can choose to use that afterwards if you want. You don't have to.
okay. I'll choose to roll it afterwards if so.
Or to apply it.
Nat 1 crit fail.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, we were joking about that. That's so funny.
Nope, crit
No,
fail.
no fleeting luck.
Jay,
He
you
says,
gave us the
"Over."
bad juju.
The overseer
I
says,
told you I used all my good
"We're
rolls.
all gonna die."
Okay, so let's. Can't remember how we.
His head explodes.
Your head explodes. So, what was your? I should have been. I think we wrote it down on your sheet exactly, kind of like what generally happens in that.
Oh, the failure. Yeah, I got that. Let's see here.
No.
On fail, chance of inaccurate mood / truth deduction. On critical fail, chance of disrupting mood in an unintended manner, like hostility.
Okay.
Strange side effect, voices abound you, and I hear a random sniff of thought within 30 feet.
So let's do this then. Where is it? I have this thing over here. Okay, get over here, book. Get over here, book. I'm gonna use the chart here. I'm gonna modify it on the fly. What you doing, dog? Dog is like sleepwalking. He's like standing, but he's like sleeping with his head on my knee now. He's busy day being bad. Okay, here we go. Does it? That's the crit. No. There it is. Okay. So go ahead and so this is okay. Well, just roll a d20 and tell me what you got. And you can modify it lower by your personality bonus if you have one.
That -1.
Yeah, you want it to go lower is better. So whatever
So then it
direction.
would go up.
Oh, you have a -1 to your personality?
Yeah.
Or I know, so you or your so then your intelligence based then, not personality. Whichever one is your prime stat. So use that one. Sorry.
So
Whichever one's not the negative.
that would be a -1. I'm supposed to roll low, right?
Yeah, you want to roll get low. Yeah.
Okay, so that's 8 minus 1, so that's 7.
Okay. All right. So basically, so what happens is he's like, as he's kind of like, he locked in the autopilot to take it towards the top, which frees up his attention to go back to weaponry. And he seems to be aware of this other ship about you, and he starts to flip on a couple other switches above, one of which activates a turret that's on the top of the ship. He's like, I'm taking this bogey out. Your friends won't kill us now. And he basically starts
Those friends that aren't attacking.
right. But you made him nutser. Then he made him nutser than he is already. Yeah, so he starts trying, he's again, but thankfully or maybe not thankfully, however you feel about it, he is kind of firing blind. Probably would have been helpful if he remembered that turret existed when he was first fighting the vine monster, but c'est la vie. So that starts happening, and you start hearing yelling coming over the intercom. I'm like, whoa, but stop! You're going down. Flight door, jump door. That's like the word you keep hearing him. You keep hearing the voice yelling out to you, jump door, which seems to be a reference to the big open hole in the main room that is the jump door. Or maybe he's just telling you to jump out a door if you're not sure.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's talking about the jump door that happens to be the big giant hole in the side of the ship. Okay, so Hydra goes again. Hydra. Shabudos. Let's see. Okay. So
Hydra number 2.
what's that?
The other Hydra.
Oh, right. Sorry. The Hydra, that's the actual monster that's attacking the ship. You basically, there's a huge rumble through the ship again as you can hear some piece of the ship come off. You're not sure. It's not one that like has a big hole in the inside, but there's definitely a weight displacement thing off the back. It feels like you probably pulled some of the flight fins off the back of the ship. Wherever it was trying to go, it's probably not going to be able to climb effectively for much longer. Not that it was really ever gonna do that. And then yeah, so I guess I already had Sully firing the cannon, so I had him do that too early, so I'll just count that as his thing. I had him accidentally go out of turn sequence, but that's fine. Didn't affect anything. So yeah, so back up to the top. So James, you're in the main cabin, right?
Yep. How much? Yeah, I could probably.
You see something just up to your right. You see another ship like the one I described earlier that you didn't see until just now, kind of drop down into your view, trying to level off next to you. It's a smaller ship, but it's still like, it's still not like a one-person craft. It's still like this one's like a legit shuttle.
Okay.
And you basically see it kind of level off with you. You do see a couple of like laser bolts skirt across the top of it, just barely missing it, like something else is shooting at it.
And I can kind of infer.
Might be the top cannon on this thing that everyone seemed to forget existed, myself mainly. Yeah, it seems like somebody's shooting at him, and it's possibly coming from the cockpit. But yeah, this ship is trying to level off. You can actually see just through the. You can't really you can see a silhouette through the through the cockpit door. I mean, through the cockpit window of that ship of someone, whoever was seated in the pilot seat is just got up and is walking and left out of the main cabin, and basically simultaneous to whatever you're doing, the jump door on that ship that's actually facing you starts to slowly open.
Yeah, I think Marcus at this point, he'd probably be able to infer it's the top cannon, right?
I mean, there's a good chance of it, yeah.
Well, I also think in the moment too, he's still focused on, okay, now I really need to get this locker open, that kind of deal.
Also, you know that there is a bunch of exposed like pipe if you kind of look up from where you are in the main cabin, which some of it's the conduit that powers the you can see a little bit of the conduit that actually powers the top cannon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, I just dawned on me that the locker is open. Yeah. For some reason I kept thinking it was something separate. I don't know why. Yeah.
No, it's all good. So and you can actually verify that it is your own cannon firing at this thing, because concurrent with the laser blasts, the little like the couple of ducts that kind of like come out of the ceiling and go to the wall kind of shake every time it like independently shake every time the cannon fires.
Okay.
So yeah. So this door is slowly opening. You're not sure if it'll open fully by this round. It's not meant to open in mid-flight. So
yeah.
Or the jump bench doors.
Well, this is like you have a jump bench. This thing is like a shuttle.
Oh, on the other ship though.
No, what was the question? The jump bench. What were you were asking about the?
I thought you were saying it started. When the sounded like you said that the overseer went back and did something.
No, that was the guy in the shuttle. Whoever's piloting the shuttle, like once he leveled off they leveled off the shuttle with the side with your vessel, they probably put the ship in automatic or something, but then like left to go open that door. That's what happened, or what seems to have happened. So it's probably only which means that there's probably only one person on there, because that would probably be the only reason you want to leave your seat. Anyway, maybe it's all a trick.
Is it possible I can yell out of turn?
Sure.
It's like Stem Lucia and Prepare to eject or jump.
What was
All right. I won't question Hydra's at this point. I think Hydra knows what's going on up front.
what did he say? I missed what he said.
Or get ready to. Prepare
Yeah.
prepare to.
Yeah, stim up Lucia and get Lucia out of there. And
Okay.
we're gonna abandon ship at this point.
All right. So what you doing?
Going over to Lucia.
Okay. So I won't make go ahead and give me a cross. Go ahead and roll to see if you it's stabled out a little bit, so I'm gonna since it went out of control, give it to back down to a -3. So
with the mag clamps even.
Oh, that's right. So yeah, I forgot. You can skip that then. You can just
Okay.
I'll just let you bypass that roll then.
Okay.
Not that you had that. All right. So you make it kind of cross the way, get into that chamber again, and there her cation's open, so she's just still there unconscious.
Yeah. I take the oxygen and blood stim and apply it directly to the forehead. No. But
With the mask of her face and just deploy. It's just like a one-use kind of squeeze it and it shoots it in.
Yeah, and try to then begin to unhook her safely.
Okay. So you do that, and her eyes kind of flutter, but she's still she's not really fully conscious, but at least she's like not a vegetable,
Right.
Always good.
So yeah, you're able to it didn't fully bring her back, but it did make sure that
she's not dead. She's
okay. So it'll take the rest of your turn to get her out of her harness. Though you are pretty much convinced there's a very good chance you're going to have to probably drag her or carry her.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like she might not be in the remaining time you guys have. She might not make it to full enough ability. And if she were to come to, she'd probably be so wobbly, she'd probably just fall out the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to have to carry her.
So Elena, which this doesn't count any against your turn, just so you know, since you were at the computer when we left you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that it registers that there's an auto signal that it's almost as if you had pressed the button to take it to the beacon somewhere else. You're like, did I accidentally hit that button? I don't know, but I don't know if you'd know in the heat of action or remember that there was a similar control on the flight, in the cockpit, but it's as if you had pressed that button.
Okay.
There is an override though, for if you did want to override that for any reason.
No, I think I'm ready to prep for evacuation.
So what are you thinking? What you want to do? You would be able to see. You would from where you are. You can see what's happening over by. You see the other ship that's leveled up, the other strange ship that's leveled off with you, and that door is now the door, because by your segment, I would say the door is almost fully open now.
Okay.
It's probably about 15 to 20 feet away. It's the only way it can be a safe distance, not accidentally crashing, because this ship is like a bucking rocker right now. So there's a big you can't just walk across. But the theory, it seems like, and you can actually see a guy now there also wearing a stim mask because of the air pressure stuff. He's whipping across his face. He is not he's not dressed like neither the enemy you've seen nor you guys. He's actually wearing a very archaic, basically it almost looks like a US astronaut, like a NASA astronaut outfit, not like the actual space seal, basically some slightly futuristic version of that, but it also looks like very worn out from age. But he looks like a guy, like a human dude who looks friendly enough. He doesn't look angry, or he's not pointing a weapon at you, and he's trying to he seems concentrated on trying to figure out how to get it, basically trying to secure. He's got like some sort of like weird little like giant like carabiner / metal chain. He's trying to figure out how to get across to your ship.
Okay. So you said this on Rocky's turn.
Yeah.
But are we able to see, like, from where I am, or am I able to see, like, parachutes and stuff just in case we have to jump?
There we go.
Not unless you were to specifically look under for those.
Okay.
You would be able to if you had a reason to think to look down there.
Yeah,
Did
because
Rocky did you yell out to something about those parachutes? I can't remember what you yelled
No,
out.
I said prepare to eject or jump.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to because
That
we've
might
been,
remind you.
Yeah, because we've been on
Yeah.
on planes and ships and stuff, we've been trained to do this, that I would assume that, like, okay, we need to eject, that probably means look for a freaking parachute.
But prepare to eject or jump.
Yeah. So
prepare a shoot to jump.
yeah.
You look under kind of like from where you are.
Yeah, where I am, see if I can find where we might keep the parachutes.
Okay. Give me a luck check. I like leaving these things up to random. So give me a luck check.
Giving all the luck checks to everybody who's got bad luck.
And nobody has any fleeting luck anymore, right?
I've got fleeting luck.
I thought we all lost.
We
all lost it because it's the one. Yep, that's right.
I'm usually the one that causes that to happen.
Nah.
Yeah.
Any group.
Is that a failure?
Yeah.
So yeah, there are parachutes down there. They're all like smoked and like charred from the firefight. Maybe one of them's intact. You'd be rolling the dice if you put the least looking charred one on. Like maybe it doesn't have a hole in a vital area. Who knows? They look pretty bad. It would be a very dedicated gambler who'd rely on one of those parachutes.
Okay, fair enough. All right.
Not saying it wouldn't work. I'm just saying it's
What did I get?
Paint an accurate picture of how dire those things look. A few of them for sure are like completely torched, but there's there's more of those things than there are of you. So in theory, one of you might survive. If all of you was a broken clock is right twice a day kind of thing.
Okay, so remind me again, because I only have it written down as a portable thruster pair. Remind me again what at least to my character's knowledge, like what Neil would know about these things.
That would Super Mario you could use
Super
that
Mario.
to that if you took a running jump towards something, that would accentuate your jump.
Okay.
It's really meant for space work, but it would do that in atmosphere. Like you couldn't fly with it, but you could augment a jump.
Okay.
So like if you're trying to say like leap across to the other ship, for example.
Right.
In theory.
God, I don't want to leave the others behind, but I also want to try and see if I can help the other ship get us out of here.
Yeah.
Would someone be able to carry like Lucia and used the Mario double jump to get over there at the same time?
I could.
She was strapped to them. Like they need both hands to use it though, so they have to be like draped across over their shoulder or strapped to them somehow.
Okay, so what I want to do, because okay, when you say this is going to break in three rounds, is it going to explode on the top of the fourth round or the end of the third
it's just
round?
It's just this thing is going to become something bad. I mean, it was a general like this thing is not long for this world. Like you can expect that in not this round, but after the following round, something probably is going to happen, and this thing either might become a lead balloon or it could blow up. You're just not sure. It's just like you can feel and see the integrity of it just like collapsing as like basically the Hydra strength is staying the same. This thing is integrity is lowering, so every time that the creature pulls on it, it's having greater effect over it, essentially.
Okay, so
That makes sense.
the reason I ask is because Brother Marcus is the closest to Lucia right now,
Right,
and
correct.
probably, I don't know for certain, but I'm going to guess you're a little stronger than me. So,
I've got okay strength. I would say it's not bad. It's
so
14.
okay, definitely better than me. So, I'm thinking you can strap Lucia on you and use this thruster to
I
get
think we have
over
a
to the
guest
other
player
ship.
calling in. Hang on, it's
Uh-oh.
Carrie Lendo who is playing. Let me make sure. Let me just check real fast. Lendo, you're on Twitch right now with us.
Do we get to call a friend?
I think did I get butt dialed?
That sounds like a butt dial.
Oh, it's a butt dial. I'm gonna hang up on myself. I thought Lendo was coming to take over for Lucia for a second.
Oh, that would.
What an opportune moment.
Right?
Yeah. It's almost like we scripted it.
Yeah.
So just I do want to remind you guys, just so you have it, just and I'm not trying to influence what you're doing. I just want to make sure that we're clear on the equipment. You have several things that actually have that push things, you know, even not busy on the thrusters. You also have one of them that could be certain combinations of the things could be secured to an object and aimed and thrown that object across somewhere too.
Yeah, we got the nylon cord.
I only tell you this because I just want to
true.
make sure I was very clear about what you have and what it does.
I think the only one of us that doesn't have something of that caliber is Rocky, because he's been at the front of the ship the whole time.
Yeah.
You have a Nyla cord that is a line, and oh Jesus.
Attention time. So
the Nyla cord, once it secures to something, becomes a solid rope.
Right.
Doesn't deteriorate.
So we've got the grappling gun, as we pay is reminding me. So we've got the grappling gun, we've got my thruster, we've got the nylon cord.
And I think you also have something else that has. Don't you have one more thing that I was mentioning has some sort of like concussive?
There's the grenades, but I
feel like
don't know what the grenades are.
You have the rocket propelled grapple.
Yep.
Which has like a cheapo line with it, or you could replace its normal line with the spray cord canister. You have the mag clamps. You have the boosters, the spray, the jump canisters that you have. Okay, I guess it's for some reason I thought there was one other thing that did something like that. I guess not. No. That's still a good amount of stuff.
Yeah.
Also, just once there is a way, there are several ways you could turn those items into multiple use items for the purpose of getting people across. If you think about it, in theory.
I'm going to. So Marcus, can you toss me the grappling gun? I'm gonna toss Rocky the thruster, just like the thruster pair, just in case. And I'm going, since I'm the closest, I assume I'm gonna be the closest to the jump door, because
you're about equidistant. Yeah, no, you are the closest.
Yeah, because Jay went back for Lucia.
Right.
Rocky's in the cockpit.
Correct.
Can I, after we do a switcheroo, if a switcheroo is okay with everybody here, can I use the thruster to try and rig it with the spray canister, like maybe with the spray canister, to the other ship,
Now
to
you
try
can't.
and get a
The
line.
thrusters are very much like. Well, I mean,
Not the
technically-
thrusters, with the spray canister for the nylon.
yeah, but you wanted to rig that to what now?
The grappling gun.
Oh yeah, that.
If
makes
we
more
do a
sense.
switch, yeah, if we do a switcheroo, I get the grappling gun and the nylon cord. I'm gonna send the thruster pair to Rocky. I'm gonna try and toss it to him so that he can have that just in case something goes wrong in the time it takes for him to get from the cockpit, which I'm gonna say is probably a little, if this ship is as big as I think it is a little bit further away from the jump door than our
About 50
pods
feet.
were.
It's about 50 feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just in case something happens as he's coming up to the jump door, he can use the Mario super jump to get over.
You would probably have to leave those behind for him, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I would toss those to him.
There
yeah,
is
or
something
put-
that I until you started talking about crazy stuff, just to make sure again I'm painting a proper picture. This is just a nutty thing you could use. Now those two cans Sams, those 2 cans of jump spray.
Mhm.
The reason why there's 2 of them is because by having one in each hand, you can, by how much harder you press it, you can turn or whatever, right? If you're in
Yeah.
space. Those cans, if used, they're not meant to be used individually. They have roughly the same force individually when used at full blast. It's just that, you would, if it's not, there might be something use you could make out of that, is what I'm saying. Those could be somehow used independently of each other and you get double use out of them.
Right.
But you have no
I have
attitude.
no way of knowing that as of right now.
You would know that as a person. You would know that as a character. You just wouldn't.
Oh.
I'm not sure what you would do with it. I couldn't even have a suggestion for what to do with it. I'm just saying that is something you could do if that helps you to know that. If you could find
No, because my idea still stands. My idea still stands that I think it would be best, like, if we did a switcheroo, and since I'm closest to the jump pad,
Sure.
if I could get the grappling gun and cord from Marcus, I can, like, take a knee immediately, and I wouldn't have to worry about having someone stand behind me, so that I could just shoot it to the
There's
other
also the mag
guys.
clamps. The mag clamps, because they slip under. To be clear with those mag clamps, they are basically like, like those suction cup things you use.
Yeah.
So it's a clamp with a little, like a loop that your hand goes into or through, like like here. So it's not like a glove. In other words,
Right, but I can't find that those would be very useful when the ship is going down.
maybe not. Yeah.
With a round and a half to go.
Yeah, with
Yes.
a round and a half to go.
So you want to,
So
it's going to be clear what you're doing. You're
I'm
trying.
gonna leave the thruster pair behind for Rocky just in case all hell breaks loose.
Where do you want to put them so they don't, like, whenever you hit the bump, they don't go flying out the main door?
Well,
I guess
think
I'll
your
hook-
intention was to toss them.
Can I toss them, or can I, like, leave them in the locker so as he's going by he can grab them?
I mean, probably putting in the locker would be the safest thing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna hook it in the locker, like, I guess with a thruster, like, it's probably got, like, straps or something that I can
Yeah, or
hook
you
it
can just
to.
close the locker door.
Or that, yeah.
Mhm.
That's true. Yeah,
Put-
I can
put
close
put it in the open access locker and close
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll kind of, like, signal to Hydra, like, hey, like, this is for you in here.
Yeah, you probably don't even know that Hydra has the other option of the ejector seat if you wanted
no,
to.
yeah, I have no idea, so,
Also, nobody knows where that ejector seat puts you. It might shoot you right in the mouth of the vine monster. Who knows?
Mhm.
But yeah, okay. So you can do that, and then the other idea
and
was
then
to get
the other thing is if I can get the grappling gun from Marcus and use that with the nylon cord to shoot, like, kind of a zip line of sorts to the other ship.
your idea would be to fire it from where you are. So to make a zip line, what would you attach the base?
Since the door is, like, almost all the way open and I can kind of see the guy fiddling with trying to figure out how to get to us or get us across, I would probably try to like clamp it, like shoot it and clamp it to like I guess like the floor or
Mhm.
like some edge of the opening of the ship.
This is one of those rare times where I was like, I wish I was a player with you guys right now, because it's like you're so dangerously close to having my idea that I just randomly came up with when you guys got in this predicament, and you said the word. You've already said the right word, but the word's not is not activating the flash of inspiration. Use a word that I was like, oh no, that's totally what I would do, but you're not thinking about the way I'm thinking about it. Not that
No,
mine's any,
probably not.
but if you wanted to secure it to something, you could have the end of the rope. So basically, what you do is you hold onto the can, you attach the front piece of the can to the thing, you fire it across. That leaves the line, and then you have the end of the line in the can, in the aerosol can
Mm-hmm.
left of it. Then the idea would be like you could tie that around something, or you
Mm-hmm.
could.
I would try to find something around that I could anchor it to.
I mean, you could. There's
I I
in
assume there's
theory,
probably something sticking up out of the ground
there
that's
are
a pole.
loops. There are loops out of the ceiling that are used for when you're approaching the jump doors.
That's not
So
a bad idea. Yeah, if I can figure out a way
yeah,
to tie it off there.
yeah, and that it's fairly simple. Once you deploy it, if it deploys successfully, then you would just rip the back end free from the can and just tie it. Just sailor knot it to the
Right. Yeah.
or just adhere it to it because it's adhesive.
Sticky.
It's less adhesive at the tail end for somewhat obvious reasons, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, it still has some adhesion to it. Then you could just tie it off too, in theory.
Yeah.
That whole process might take you through most of next round to get that
Yeah.
to fire it off in. But I'll say this round, um assuming that James, you're already on board with this.
Yep, I'm on board. This is
So
one of our better shots right now.
she can get to you and get the grappling gun, and then basically get roughly in position to fire.
Mhm.
And if you want to fire in a sense and really like, yeah, that's probably the best you could do. I would say if you tried to get off a shot this round, it would be so desperate. There's a chance you could fire it wrong or in the wrong.
Yeah.
Depends on how desperate
Right. Give her.
you don't want to take the knee or any of that stuff. Then
No,
yeah.
I want to take the knee.
Also, you have to secure it to the can. That's going to take the rest. Yeah. So all you can do this round is get it, and then either get into position, or you can get it and do one of two things remaining. You can either go ahead and stay where you are once you get it and secure the can to it, or get to the position and then secure the can next round. It seems like a solution, but who knows what's going to happen to what part of the ship I went. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna secure the can now and then get into position next round just in case something happens and I go flying out with the gun.
You'll go back to the intubation chamber where James is. Get the grappling from him, and while you're still in there, secure it there, knowing you'll move to. Okay.
Yep.
And okay, cool. And so I didn't even ask you, James. Once you released what's her name? Lucia, did you what do you? She's gonna be relatively limp. What are you doing with her?
Carrying her stomach against the back of my head, and then just being able to
fireman carry
hoist her. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I just wanted to just double check it. Okay. Cool. So Rocky, so I guess you probably heard. So I guess you heard her say that she's putting the canisters in the locker, I suppose. And then so yeah, the only other thing that's going on right now, it's like you can see the ship is like it kind of banked a little bit to the side because it's only working on one thruster. And it's trying to climb and bank, but it's like it's starting to roll a little bit. Everyone starts to kind of feel that. Basically, that's the autopilot doing that. That autopilot might throw this plan off. It's because it's trying its darndest to get to the beacon. The other problem is if you deactivate it, then the only control for the ship will be where your overseer is sitting.
Right.
He is currently not touching the flight yoke, though. He's too busy firing the top cannon.
Do I have
He's a
access to
dingus.
those controls as well?
You could no, your controls where you're sitting are dead. You have enough move and distance you could, in theory, if you wanted to deactivate you can deactivate the auto. That's where you can reach out from where you are. Then you could like you would have to get control of his flight yoke, which he's currently not even touching, to try to even out the ship.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
Oh,
saying,
sorry.
do I also have access to the turret controls?
Not from where you would have to wrest it away from him. There's only one set that's like, but it's kind of between your two seats. So he's kind of leaned out of his his side of it a little bit towards you to use the controls for that, which are like pull down like a little periscope thing.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him
But
use the turrets and shoot at the monsters so we can get free.
he is
Quit shooting at people that are not attacking us.
I'm gonna even forego a personality check on this to say he's just too far gone at this point. He's just in the zone.
Okay, well then I will.
He's like he's resigned himself to death. He wants to make sure he takes out the other traitors with him, your conspirators. He keeps muttering something to that degree.
Okay.
So you've got a major problem right now with the autopilot, because the autopilot's going to completely roll the ship. And I don't know, do you know, were you hearing the full plan from them? Like, were you guys yelling out your plan when you were doing it? Would your character, would Hydra know what they're trying to do right now? I guess you probably would.
I mean, like, there was some discussion, but I mean, like, even me as a player, I'm a little bit confused, but still, like,
But
yeah,
you would be able to know. I feel like you'd be able to know that the other ship is alongside you and they're trying to get across to it.
yeah, but like,
Yeah.
how can I put it? You're saying that it's going
It's about that plan's about
side
to
by
be
side of us instead of below us.
right. It's side by side. That plan's about to be, if something's not done about the autopilot, that plan's going to go to pot pretty quickly, because
Yeah.
it's about to roll. It's about to basically roll and split off to the side, because it's trying to get somewhere with half of its with half its thrusters.
I think my portrait got switched over. I lost my internet connection for a moment.
Oh no.
So now I'm Clay now, apparently.
What?
Yeah, we switched off.
Wait, I still see me fine. I still see you.
Yeah, different names.
Oh, it's fine on mine. That's so funny. But if you wanted to, it's up to you, Rocky. You could use I mean, it doesn't take you any action to deactivate the autopilot. It's just what you would do next, because basically no one's touching the flight yoke at this point.
Yeah, but knowing that there's only one more round after this, it's hard to. It sounds like I've only got one option, but for me to do anything other than, I don't know, like, you say it takes no action for me to turn the autopilot off, but then I still got this maniac who's
Well,
determined to
he's
kill us.
firing the guns. He's not, you're not sure what you would do if you grab the flight yoke, but he's not touching the controls right now. Their biggest problem is keeping things steady enough that if you guys are trying to abandon the ship for the other ship, if that's the plan, that's the biggest obstacle to that plan, is this ship just going different.
Okay, well, is Daniil shooting out of the hole in the ship on the side, or like, because you said the other ship is going parallel with us,
So
but
the other ship is right next to it. So you're side by side by the giant jump door that was ripped off the ship like way before.
yeah, on the bottom.
No, it's on the side. It's in the front. It's on the side. It's not on the bottom. I think that's
Okay.
where we got the confusion
This
from.
whole time
Mhm.
from the bridge, I thought it was in the bottom.
No. It's literally no. It's opposite the jump benches. Sorry, I wasn't sure that wasn't clear. Yeah, it's
Okay.
like, look, I can draw it real quick and show you.
Well, don't worry about that. I'm just gonna I'm going to turn off the auto.
Yeah, so it's like, just so you can see, it's like this is the cockpit. This is the main cabin. There's like the cash-in room, and then over here is like the locker. Back here is where the mess was. But like, this is the big open door. The other ship's like right here with its open door. They're trying to get across. Oh, sorry, that's a terrible angle for that.
No, it's okay. I get it. Like I said, I'm gonna since you said it's free action, turn off the
Yeah.
autopilot. I'll do
Yeah,
that
that's a
to
really easy
stabilize us. I'm going to. Is there anything in the cockpit with me, like a fire extinguisher or something I could shoot in the overseer's face?
There you'd have to rummage around. There might be some behind the seat. The problem you have now
There's
is that
nothing I see. Nothing I see.
no, not like in your direct line of sight. The issue you have right now is that thruster kicked down. You've got about a moment. Is it just kind of like not in your where the ship is just kind of like settling back, but it's about to just like not have any forward thrust at all and to start going down. So if unless somebody engages the flight yoke and tries to take control of it, because right now there's nothing, there's nothing directing the ship anymore anyway, any which way or the other. So nothing even leveling it off. It's the only reason you haven't gone down yet is it takes a moment to kind of reorient. It was like kind of going like this, sorry, like it's kind of going off to the side like that, and now it's like kind of leveling back, and then it's going to overcompensate in just a second and just dip the other direction and start going down. The thrust is tied directly to the flight yoke. You can grab the flight yoke if you want to, because you're not sure what he's going to do once you do it, but he's currently still just firing that gun. He's not even looking at it. He's concentrating on that. There's the flight control is loose there.
I guess
Or you could try to like
greater good and grab the flight yoke.
You could also try, because if you're just trying to push it forward, you could try to like steady it with your foot and then do something else with your hands if you wanted to. Also, you could try to multitask.
Well, he's trying to shoot at the other ship, and that's the whole thing. Is that
right? He's not doing it he's not a credible threat at this exact moment because he's just firing. The angle is not very good.
Yeah, but we're trying to go over to the ship he's shooting at.
Right.
And so thus that puts everyone at risk. So the best thing for me to do is to sacrifice myself and grab the control yoke. If possible, also to knock him out in the process, like fly across and elbow him as I grab the flight yoke.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can totally. Yeah, I just want to make sure it's clear. Like, so you just have to lean over to grab the flight yoke, or you just need to push forward on it basically and try to control it. The thing with him is he's not he's firing like willy-nilly. He's not a credible threat at this point because he can't really hit the ship from the angle he's at. If your attitude changes, like the flight attitude changes too much, then you might gain the ability to get a shot. Right now he's at his angle, he's just firing right, like the ship's right in its umbra.
Yeah, but that's why I said I was going to grab the yoke, so that
you can absolutely do that. And that's something that's good for two reasons, because the other reason is if you don't take control of the yoke, then they would never be able to get there would be nothing for them to get across to, because they would suddenly their door that's parallel would be like facing the sky or something.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm going to sacrifice myself and grab the yoke so that they can get across.
Right. I mean, there might be a way, something you can do too. You don't have to sacrifice yourself, but yes, for right now, I think probably to give you to continue your plan, I think you have to grab the flight yoke. There might be something else you can do afterwards, but for right now, yeah, probably is the smart plan of action. Yes, it's really the only really that The only thing that's not going to keep the ship from just like banking off and then like dropping, basically. That and possibly, you have no idea how much that creature still has control of the ship from how much it's holding it. If it would just like where it would fall. But yeah, anyway. So you want to go for the yoke?
Yep.
Okay. So give me another strength check. Because you're having to pull against all the. This is just a kid, just kind of like you did before with the other flight yoke. And let me know what you get.
11.
11?
Yep.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, there's not as much resistance. You're not pulling against another thing. So yeah, you're able to kind of like balance it. And give me a luck check real quick.
Remind me, it's your current luck or your normal luck?
Current unless
Current
it's
luck.
your unless it's your like birth augur, it's current.
So 7 or less.
We're so good at these.
3.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so
Hey.
that was to see if that you're leveling it off distracted the overseer from what he's doing, and it didn't. So he is not pulled from his task of trying to like fire willy-nilly. You do hear a shriek inside.
Can I do one more thing besides
Yeah.
Can I pull his ejector?
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, sure.
Beautiful.
So yeah, I'll let you do that. Okay, sure, go for it.
Go in peace.
So yeah, you can. It's actually it's on your side of his chair. So yeah, it's actually not even that hard to reach it. And it'll at least give you a good dry run to see where the ejector seat goes. So you'll have an idea if you have to use yours. So you're gonna go for it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
whether or not me as a player knows, he's still he's a threat in play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's the cabin turns red, like a red light goes on, and then there's like a klaxon, and then the klaxon, the red light just goes away like nothing happened. Nothing, and he's just still firing his little thing.
Let's hoping it malfunctioned and smashed him against the.
Well, we tried.
So you just want to hold the control and keep doing what you're doing?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I can do right now.
So give me a quick reflex save now.
Oh no!
You whine about it. Oops, sorry, buddy.
Everything was going so good.
I believe.
This was good. Things were going good.
I mean, this part just now.
Oh well, yeah, relatively right.
That's 10.
Okay. Yeah, all right, that's what you needed. Good. So you have a shock that thankfully does not throw off your steadiness on the yoke, but basically there's a loud pop, and a moment later he's gone. Overseer drops through the floor. He's ejected down. It was just a delayed reaction.
Yes.
And there's a jolt of air that gets kind of like both sucked out and then blown in your face, but you're able to hold on to your position on the flight yoke. And yeah, he's just shot down out of there. And there's basically now a hole in the floor where a perfectly circular hole where his seat was.
Does he get nommed up by the beast?
Also, I'll give you the satisfaction of being able to look down.
Ooh, that'd be great if it let go of the ship to get him.
Yeah. Doubt it
Oh,
will, but
I don't wanna make you have to make
Really
another
wanted
weapon
to
check
attempt.
again. Let's say I'll leave it up to the direction die to see. I'll let the direction die, and I don't know if it would be. I don't really care if it's him or the creature's mouth, but if they end up getting closer together, that'll be the thing. So we'll say if the result is down or back, then it will be good for the monster to get him. All right. Well, that is okay. Well, I need two of these because I need to weird door. Okay. So when he shoots out, you see him kind of like disappear to the possibly from like the way you're flying. He just kind of disappears under your seat, like to the right. Like and then he's just gone. A moment later, though, you see a head whip back across, holding his seat in his mouth as it swallows it. Um,
I
that
know
is
I should feel bad.
Yeah, I tried to
there's
get
one that's one less head that's attached to the ship, so the ship gets a little bit of a buoyancy for a moment, but it also means that the part of the ship that was being held together by that one mouth is let free, and basically that huge hole that's behind you guys in the main cabin that was that near that the hallway in the break room.
Mhm.
Basically half the break room just like rips out, just falls out,
Eeh.
shoots out the side. There's a
Oh.
giant now. That section's about to basically just snap off, like the tail section is about to be gone. It's like what was that in the Batman movie, right? When that
Yeah.
happened. Anyway, so yeah,
Then we
so
had some shark or a bat
receiver
Hydra
gone.
repellent.
You still have control of the flight yoke. It's though you would notice though Rocky, the not we know you're about a round away from everything bad happening, but you're basically starting to feel that like it's getting a lot looser because a lot of the little, you know, the fins and stuff that you were controlling or not don't exist anymore. So the yoke is losing its resistance. It's about just to be a like a door jam. All right, so no, he's gone. So that's down to no, then we did the Hydra guy. So that's all right. So he's gone. So that was the creature did that. So I'll give the creature one more thing to see if it randomly it's gonna try to use the other head to get the helper ship. Okay. Um no, nothing appreciable happens other than the fact that like the ship is about to go bye-bye. Okay, so back up to James.
Oh boy.
Things are not yeah, the thing is just like you can hear this is groaning and like it almost feels like the walls that should be parallel are starting to turn trapezoidal on you.
Mhm.
And it's like the integrity of this thing is just coming apart.
I've got Lucia,
Mhm.
and I think the best thing I can do is get close to that door, right? To jump, get ready to jump.
Okay. And since we normally, the normal initiative, we would let you do things when it made the most sense tactically. So if you need to hold some of that, I'm fine with that. If you need Elena to do her thing before you finish your move.
Yeah, I need to wait for Daniil to come on by.
Okay. So I'll let you kind of put a pin in that, or other than getting over to her, right? So
Yeah.
I do need you to, especially because you're carrying this weight now, I do need you to give me a reflex save, getting across there. And I'm
With
saying,
the mag clamps, or is just the
oh
actual?
yeah. Well, you still have to do it. You're just not gonna be at a minus anymore because
Okay.
you are carrying her and the ship is really like crumbling.
Going crazy. Right.
Even like like there's a possibility that like the place you put a mag clamp one moment might not be there the next.
True.
That bad yet, but
All right. Well, let's fail. I didn't fail properly. Uh, With an agility, right?
Yep.
16.
Okay, you're good. You get to her, and then Elena, what you're gonna do? You're gonna go ahead. You are you take the knee. And you're gonna fire it.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk over there and take a knee and fire.
Are you aiming for a particular spot within the ship, or where are you trying to?
No, I'm just trying to get it like, cause like with a grappling hook, you want to get it in an anchor spot, like on an edge or something. So I'm thinking like if I can get it on an edge of this like hangar door on the
Yeah,
ship.
you can aim at there's multiple places that would do that. Probably the best one would be like right where the door drops, like right where the gap where it dropped down from. So yeah. So aim like above,
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So go ahead and I won't give you a minus on that since you're studying yourself there
Okay.
on the so yeah, this would just be a projectile. So basically your agility mod on a D20 roll plus that's it, actually, I think. Unless you had another missile modifier normally, I don't think you do.
I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna have to spend some luck.
Okay.
Because I got a 5.
Okay. Now keep in mind that like a miss does not mean like it's necessarily going to go not hit the ship at all. It's not going to hit where you want it to hit. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah. So what do you want to? Do you want to get it to like?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to spend 5 luck.
Okay.
Just to make it a 10 to make it even.
That would get you to. That'll get you where you need it.
Okay.
Yeah. A noble sacrifice of luck. So yeah. So you.
Sorry, Thorin.
Hey, this does means his character doesn't die. Maybe. So it's
True.
luck well spent. So yeah, it goes. You shoot it across. It connects to the just a basically in the middle of the open hatchway on the top part. So kind of makes the zip line. It kind of goes up a little bit, but not crazily up. Yeah, so it connects, and you still have the end of the canister in your other end. And you said you wanted to tie that off to something?
Yeah, I want to like tie that to the loops that you hold before you jump.
Okay.
Yeah, do like a sailor's knot or something.
Sure. Okay. So I'll let you do that. So James, you'll kind of be like, if you wanted to do something in conjunction with that this round, you'll kind of be like right on our heels of doing that. So basically the second she secures it, you won't have time to test it.
Yeah, well,
Trust.
Yeah, I think Marcus has sufficient trust in all of his companions, especially at this point.
Right. So what's your so how you plan on getting across?
Zip line in that baby.
So are you gonna do you have something you can use as like a zip thing, or are you just like literally just climbing it?
That's the question. I'm trying to think. Should I rip like cloth from my clothing?
Yeah, there is that remember the way those clamps work that you're using, there's a hand, it's like a paddle with a loop.
Mm-hmm. Or I could, yeah, I guess I could just use them.
Oh, I guess that actually though that would have had to be something that was in place before she secured it, so I guess that wouldn't work.
Okay.
But yeah, you could take your shirt off. You are wearing clothes on top of your thing. You could use your shirt.
I think I'll do that in this case.
Yeah. And hope that the rope is not too sticky on that side of it.
Mm-hmm. That'll be the least of my
so
concerns.
you kind of like fasten that across, and then so like how are you holding? Remind me how you're holding Lucia.
Over my shoulders and behind my head. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So you're just gonna
So kind of I can get my my arms over her body and be able to kind of keep that
Sure.
secure.
Okay. And actually, I realize now that I probably sold you wrong, Elena, about where to shoot that thing. But you would have always shot it towards the more effect. You wouldn't have shot it probably towards the top. You would have shot it to the side. Because if you shot it at the top, you would be working against gravity to do. But
we're not going to think about physics right now.
You would have known. You would have known that. It just means that, it doesn't mean anything. Okay, so you're gonna go for it, right? All right, cool. So I will give you a choice of how you want to handle this, as far as what you roll. Do you want to leave it up to pure luck, or do you want it to be an agility check? I'll let you pick your poison.
Agility, because my agility is still a +2, so
okay.
I could.
And you can always add luck to an agility check.
I'm not gonna add luck in this case. I think.
But
if it fails,
you can still add luck to your agility check if you needed to.
In post, I forget.
Yeah, you have luck can you add at any point.
Okay, then yeah.
That's the one good thing about it.
Well, time to roll. Let's see what happens. Let's see who dies. Okay.
Silence is not good.
7.
Okay.
It's possible that I could burn some luck.
Mm-hmm. You don't need a ton.
That's what I thought. I was like, I think I'll burn 3.
The 3 would definitely be. Yes, the 3 would be.
I will burn 3.
Okay, so yeah, and then just for does somebody else want to roll for a luck for Lucia, just to see hers? She can't do anything consciously. I'll give her a bonus for how she's secured, but someone give me a luck roll for Lucia to see if he didn't like slip out of her thing or anything.
Someone other than me.
Please. I'll do it.
Okay. I gotta look up what her score is, but go ahead. You can roll it regardless.
I failed.
What'd you roll?
It was an 18. I'm pretty sure that's a fail on any one of us.
Well, not necessarily, because you're gonna have you have a pretty big bonus. Okay, so Lucia's neutral there, so it's a 0 modifier for her to begin with, and then so I was gonna give you a bonus because you're secured. Oh, that'll be. So you rolled an 18, you said?
I rolled an 18.
Okay, so you're a few off. Nobody has any fleeting luck, right?
Nope.
No, we lost it all.
Okay, so this is what happens. You zip across.
NPC luck.
Yeah.
You zip across right as you're getting to the edge where you have to shift your weight to kind of pull yourself into this other ship, and the other guy offers you an arm. You start to lose your hold on Lucia. She's about to slip from you.
Do I need a strength check?
Well, yeah. So you can either. So basically, right when you're kind of at a precarious balance as you're kind of like shift over to this other guy to help you in, and then you're like realize, oh, I can either shift towards this guy in safety or try to stop her from falling and maybe save the both of you, or maybe just pitch yourself out into the void. Do you want to? One's a definite save you. The other one is a not sure. Maybe save both of you. Maybe save neither of you.
It's gonna be a not sure.
Okay, so go ahead.
That's how Marcus rolls.
So I will do. So give me an agility check again. Oh no, sorry, our reflex save. Same thing, I guess, for you.
Yeah.
6. 6. So you're gonna get a interest. So basically, you start to lose it, and you're both about to fall. Then something grabs your shoulder, and it's a remarkably strong thing grabs your shoulder and stops you from falling. Something that feels like it should not have the strength to do so. You realize it's the other guy's holding you, but his strength is inordinate to his size. So give me also now a strength check.
Okay.
See about Lucia.
3.
Man, 3. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Okay, so Okay. I'm trying to think if there's any other recourse for this before it happens. Or make sure I got it right.
And Nell's gonna come back and she's not gonna have a character to come back to.
No.
So yeah, she falls.
Could I burn luck, or is it too late?
No, it's not too late.
I'll burn luck.
You
How much
have
you
to
gonna burn?
leave 1 luck or you're dead, by the way. Just so you know. I don't know how much luck you have, but
I got 14 left.
okay.
Yeah, you had
Oh.
luck. You had good luck there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you want to bring it to?
At least a 10. I don't know if I should go more, though.
10 will be enough.
Burning 10 or bringing my score to 10?
Bringing it to 10.
Okay, then yeah. I'll do
Bringing the total to 10 will be enough.
Mhm.
Is that doable?
That's doable for me.
Okay. So just as she's about to completely lose it, you like grab her, just barely grab her limp arm, and just with that amount, he's able to help you restore your balance. You both come into the ship into safety and collapse on the ground there. All right, so that was that. Now, Wayne has nothing else to do. Now, Rocky, you're holding the flight yoke still, right?
Yeah, that was my next question. Was like, so for a round, is it steady, or if I let go?
It's pretty much at this point like you're not going to be doing much more help. It's about, since you're the last person to go this round of anybody that has to do anything, you might as well help yourself because there's no other effect. Whatever you now either be just to really hold it steady it's not going to make much of a difference. You can try to do something to help yourself.
Okay, now to assess the situation, now has Daniil went across or just shot the line?
Daniil is still on this side.
Okay.
You're half and half right now. There are also those Super Mario jumpers that are still on here.
Yeah, if you can leave. Don't worry about me.
No, but
you also have your own ejector seat as well.
That's what I was gonna say. It's like I don't know if I can do this, but I'd like to is to grab those things and either we each use one, or one of us holds on the other one while the other one uses the things to shoot across the line.
So the biggest problem you have is you are 50-ish feet from where those are. You could double run, get it, and you can make a Hail Mary to get yourself over, maybe. Or you can just pray that whatever happens next round would still allow you to have one last chance to do something. You're not sure something's going to happen next round. You don't know what. Or when in the round. I haven't rolled the initiative for when it happens in the round yet.
Oh, jeez.
So if you want to do the only thing that would, you could do one of a couple things. You could either eject your seat and you possibly shooting right in the monster's mouth. You don't know where it's going to go. It goes down.
Or how about,
go ahead.
How about Dash? Put the thrusters in Daniil's hands and then shove her out.
So yeah, you can,
but probably can't do that. But
that would be there. If you are, it would be dangerous for anyone because the thrusters have to be done with a concerted jump and have to be aimed kind of intentionally. Like for somebody else to try to use it for you would be very hard.
And no, not for me.
No, for her, I know. Or for Danielle. But you can get to the thrusters, and then you can either you can get to those thrusters, the thruster pack, maybe, and get over to Daniil, and then maybe you guys could do something together if there is, depending on what segment the ship has something happen to it next round.
I'll just yell, use the thrusters. I got a eject seat and I pull it.
Okay.
You're a madman.
So go ahead and do you want me to leave it to my fate on my end, or do you want to give it a luck check?
No,
like your luck's pretty bad.
Trying to hit a 7 or less is not probably going to happen. So it's better that you roll me you roll my death. It's on your head.
All right, so
the blood is on your hands, Clay.
Well, I'll use that as your backup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a direction, and then I'll give you a chance to countermand it to go opposite the direction if you roll a luck check if you need to. We'll see what happens. All right, so okay, I'll be forward. Okay, so forward, and
well, the thing is like as long as I don't get eaten, or smash into something. Right. Then, like, if I landed into a bay, that'd be fine. If I assume I can control it, or if I landed and became a mutant, that'd be okay too, as long as I didn't die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you fire out the base, and for a moment, you kind of like the trajectory kind of shoots you down, but like kind of in front of the ship, not back, but the same direction it's going, and then it banks to the right. So it goes like that. So it goes off toward the same. Basically, it's going to go underneath the other ship, and then you're not sure where. This thing doesn't have like its own controls. It's supposed to, like, to the best of your knowledge, or at least you hope, it's supposed to lower you to the safest like landing point. So, but you do not go into the monster's mouth. Not yet, at least. Okay, so then, all right, so I'm going to roll something for the ship now. I guess you're the last person on there, right?
Yep.
All right, so, and thankfully your initiative 16, so I just had to roll worse than that before. Well, we also don't know what's going to happen yet, but like I have to roll worse than that for the initiative for the ship.
I want to live. Maybe
okay, so I rolled a 13, so you are better than it.
Yay!
All right, so you are you don't have the shirt that he used to go across the zip line. You have the zip line there. You can wrap something around it. You can go back and get your thrusters that you left in the locker. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna get the thrusters. There's nobody else here to use them, so I'm just gonna Super Mario jump.
To hell with the jump, to hell with the zip line, right?
Yeah, basically. Like, I don't have any. I'm just looking around. I'm like, well, I have no shirt to take off, or I'm naked. So
you just have the skin tight thing that you wouldn't get off anyway, or you just rough up your hands really bad. Yeah, so you're gonna Super Mario
I'm gonna Super Mario it.
All right, so
it's me, Daniil.
I guess it's the same whether or not it's an agility or a reflex save, so it doesn't matter because it's the same for your character at this point. Yep. So give me an agility check.
14.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you shoot across and you land inside. You land right inside the
hey.
And let's see what exactly happens to the ship now.
It explodes.
Well, the ship
pierces me with shrapnel.
The ship buckles and basically folds in on itself, and then starts to like drop like an anchor. There's a small problem.
We're anchored to it now.
Yeah, the nylon cord is still like the very strong tensile strength cord is still connected. Of course, it's just connected to a hand loop.
We got the corrosive spray if we need to.
I also have a last scepter that I can use to
That
burn
works.
through it.
So this, I should have given James the chance on this. I will now, because we did you out of order. You're not sure what's going to happen. The thing is, you can see it dropping, right?
Mhm.
You're not probably this thing is not going to be able to hold on to it. Something's going to snap off, but the jolt of the initial thing could be pretty catastrophic. Do you want to try to find a way of releasing this before it goes taut?
Yeah, I think so.
Because even if it doesn't, stick, it still could, just that initial jolt before it snaps off could be pretty bad. So what do you want to do?
Well, I got the spray.
On the rope part
That's what I was thinking.
should work. You're not sure if it's going to work fast enough before the snap happens. It definitely would make it so the thing wouldn't come off. Oh, it would come off, but like, would it eat through before, in less than 6 seconds? So it, on the same round, it doesn't, like, you still don't get that shock of the snap.
Well, we also don't know. I think I'll just shout out the line as well to the other guy who just picked this up, or snap it. And
then also in conjunction with that, do the
if he's got that strength, he can maybe help out after we get the.
Okay. So you're gonna use the corrosive spray, or you want to use something else?
I think that's pretty much the best thing I got.
Do you want to burn the whole can on it? Do a full deploy?
I won't burn. I don't know if burning the whole can would help. That's the thing.
It eats harder. It eats more the more you deploy it.
I guess I gotta. Yeah.
Might speed up the process. So okay, so I will say this. So give me a luck, and this has to be a luck check, I guess. It's gonna do its job. Is it gonna do
It's a 50-50 then.
Okay.
Or at least to be weakened, so it would be it might snap before it got the jerk.
It's true.
Say what again?
I said it at least will weaken it, so it might snap before it jerks.
Oh, that's true.
I rolled a 15. It doesn't matter.
So that's over your luck?
It's over.
Okay.
Yep.
But by how much? By 5 or?
By 5.
Okay, copy that. Okay. So you yelled out to the other guy, who he also kind of lunges for it with his arm to try his best to disconnect it. And he's actually going for the actual grapple itself to try to dislodge it. I hate rolling against myself. So would somebody want to roll for this guy? Just roll a d20 and roll.
I'll try and redeem myself.
Roll a d20, roll high.
You had to tell him to roll high.
That one.
Oh no!
I'm joking. I rolled
13. Oh, what?
He dislodges it, but he goes out the window.
What would you roll?
I rolled an 18.
Okay, great. So basically, he's struggling with it, and it's like it just starts to come off, but then there's you see the line go tight for a second, but like Rocky was saying before, it can actually have any damages, and this breaks apart, it just snaps off without even jolting you.
Great.
And as the guy is just holding now the grappling hook in his hand and kind of looking at it like, huh? So you watch the ship go down, and the Hydra creature thing goes for it, completely leaving the purview of this ship to chase it down. Grabs it, and you see it smash down into the water, into the churn. Also, as you guys are kind of following it down with your eyes, you see something kind of hovering below, basically lowering itself, and you realize it's the ejector seat with Rocky in it.
And I'll shout out and say, "We need to grab him."
Yeah.
This guy, the guy who
lower the ship,
runs to the cockpit. and he yells over to you, James. He's like, use that stick over there, and you see a thing on the wall. There's like a weird, like little, like almost like a lever, kind of very similar to, what do they call it, like a rudder controller.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, because you can see what it's connected to as if you start moving it around, there's a little net caster underneath the ship.
Oh, okay. I can catch Rocky.
You can try to. He's
Yeah.
trying to aim you down there.
Mini claw game.
Hopefully, mini claw game. Hopefully, the seemingly good news is the stakes might be semi-low here, because looks like unless this creature decides to go for Rocky, this will just take him eventually to safety. This would separate you guys if you.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a life or death one for once.
All right, then.
Unless
Yeah,
the
I'll...
creature gets hungry. So I'll just speed up the clock on this and say that he kind of like he kind of levels it to a position where you can get a shot.
Mhm.
And
I'll fire. Yeah.
and this is not a precision shot, so you don't have to roll that high. So
Well, watch me.
roll, I mean, you don't have to. Yeah, don't roll. Don't roll really low.
Plus any modifiers, right?
Agility.
15.
Oh yeah, that's fine. So basically, so Rocky, this giant, like, you kind of looking, probably looking at other things, is watching your descent, and then suddenly this weird, like a brief flitter of a shadow passes over you. For a brief moment, you think it might be the creature coming to gobble you up, and something wraps around you, and it's not its mouth, it's this net.
Dog catcher Lidsville net.
And yeah, it wraps around you and starts pulling you up, and you see it's to that other ship.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans.
That's probably as place as any, huh? Jesus.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And that's where our session ends.
Yep.
That was like I think that the like 5 to 10 minutes of real time that took 2 sessions, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But it was a pretty eventful one.
It was
your fatality. There was a whole other character came in. There was another ship. There's different places within the mountain you could go to.
This
sacrifice
like,
romance.
This felt like a James Bond movie, or like Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Goodbye, Seven Luck.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny too, because I had no idea how you use these things, so I was kind of like in your position, because I rolled everything randomly for what was even in the lockers, and like there was that point where I kept thinking, if I was a player, I was like, I wanted to, but you had those loops to go to at the top. I was like, oh, you could tie it around the mag clamp and put the mag clamp on something like the other end to make the. That's what I kept thinking that I would have done. I was like, oh, because you kept saying clamp, but you weren't getting there.
Yeah. Give him the
but then actually, though, honestly, though, you probably did it better, because, if you hadn't, like, that mag clamp is stronger than the loop on the ship, so had you not beat the clock out with that spray corrosive and it did snap tight, that mag clamp could have been more problematic. So maybe it's for the best you did it the way you did it. Holy boy, do we even have anybody? Is anybody left? Does anybody survive this long listening to this nonsense?
We've got 7 people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
They're like their heads are on their keyboards, and there's like,
yeah. Now it says 8.
They probably passed out.
Can we raid someone else?
I don't know if anybody's around to raid, but
is there anybody like on the other side of the planet that we can raid that's like morning for? That's like
probably, but I'm a little too lazy to look anybody up right now.
Let's go off those Australian DCC fans or whatever.
Probably.
Diehards.
Yeah.
Well, we should probably sign off then.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks if you made it this far.
Did we finish?
Yeah, we got there.
Yay!
We're done. You're in a net. You're coming up to the ship where we got it. We all made it out.
I mean,
no
the funnel.
TPK. Oh, the funnel.
Oh, the funnel's almost there.
I'm okay with. I feel like you have enough experience to be out of the funnel. The funnel was but all these things that happened were never things I thought would happen. So originally, like, I always thought the milestone place the funnel would happen is if you got to the information point, which seemed like the most natural one, which is still like the one where it would make the most logical sense. But you guys kind of killed yourselves to do this, and I think that you deserve to have um, a bump for that. I think if everybody's cool with it, I'll work out. I need to figure out the logistics, but I think the way we would do it is your level 1 would be we would level you as a seraph and not worry about like having you go into a class that you would have the option normally to. What we could do is then bank what your benisons that could tailor it towards being something, and then if you wanted to you could either just like stay as a seraph and use some benisons to modify it to be like, oh, I want to be more like a fighter or have thief skills or whatever. Or you could basically cash in those to like basically dual class it, so you would just switch over for level 2, whatever you want to swap to.
All right.
You need to work out the particulars of it, but I do want to. I feel like you're gonna need a little bit of a boost going forward, and I feel like you definitely earned it. So I want to make sure you're not having to wait, because I can't. If I can guarantee you, it'd only be like a quarter of a session until you got to where the place where naturally I thought it would happen. But I can't. Who knows where could function of a lot of different things. So
all right, yeah, we can figure it out.
I'll work out the particulars, but if you guys are cool with that, we'll be able to level you. We'll be able to like half/level you up next session, so at least everything will go up, and then you'll have points to use as a bet for benisons, and you can either hold on to those and use them for things that you already have access to, or so you can spend them now and use them for things that you would have access to, like skills that you would already be aware of, or in your purview, or you could bank them and use them in the way we would have intentionally used them before, which is like when you fully understand the scope of what your characters can have access to, you could then spend them at that point. It's up to you. I'll figure it out in the interim, but that's basically the way I'm thinking about it. It's kind of a loose spot in the dynamic of the design, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. I think that'll work though. The Benison thing I think works. That works. That's always been an integral part. So are we still online? Sorry, I didn't realize.
Yes, we have been, because I didn't know we've said hello or goodbye, not hello.
Well, I'll say goodbye again. Thank you for listening to the Inside Baseball portion of the Inside Baseball show, and hopefully you guys will stick around, and we'll cover more than 5 minutes of game time or fiction time. I swear to God. All right. Well, thank you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Goodman.